Hello, everybody. Oh, crap. I don't have a Maz with us. Son of a bitch. I had one.
Not important.
Caught up.
There you are.
I had one job. I had every job.
Oh my god, the
Every
Megaman
job, but
helmet
this
with
particular
the
one.
Logomancy logo. It's so good.
Right? I learned how to use Affinity Designer for this. You're welcome.
Yay!
It's so good.
I feel
Yeah.
very spoiled.
I'm already obsessed.
Hello,
Best-
everybody,
this is gonna be
and
so good.
thanks for stopping by to our inaugural episode of Light Up the Night, a
Woo!
Megaman D&D crossover series. We have a handful of intrepid players that are going to find the power within. And what they do with that power, who knows? Because, you know, it's a thing. It happens.
Chicanery.
Let's take weapons off dead robots. Absolutely. 100%.
What could go wrong?
To chat's point, I ultimately recommend switching to the Affinity Suite because a one-time payment of $200 for life for every upgrade for Infinity versus ever giving Adobe money is better.
I'm
And
looking into this right now because I got a good deal in my Adobe suite because this was like forever ago. They had a sale, but I'm less happy with them these days.
That is fair.
Slowly migrating yourself off is probably a good plan. I forcibly migrated myself off because they made it very hard to cancel. But that's a story for another day.
Indeed. So, if you're here, you probably know who I am. I am James. I look after Logomancy Media, and where all fine Logomancies are sold. You know, it's a thing. I hope you enjoyed the starting soon music that was put together. It probably sounded pretty familiar because it's the Logomancy theme, and then we had some good 8-bit mix added into it by our good friend Tommy, the Mr. Panurgy himself. Is a significantly more talented musician than I will ever be. So, and yes, never do audio through Adobe. Always use a DAW design for it. Reaper is amazing, or Audacity, depending on what you're doing. You know, right tool for the job. I want to go around the table, and I want to have our players introduce themselves. And I want to start with somebody who has never streamed a TTRPG game before. The intrepid player who is controlling chips tonight, my good friend Fiss. Fiss,
Hey.
Can you tell us a little bit about the character that you put together and what you're hoping to get out of this?
Alrighty. Well, Chips is a gentle giant. He's interested in the horizon and everything beyond it. He has found little tidbits of lore around the village, and every time he finds something, he gets inspired to keep on looking. He is a bard, and has been dabbling in magic, specifically trying to learn more languages and use his connections to find allies and other secrets that other people have been traveling around and finding. And yeah, he's interested in doing the same.
I love it. That actually touches on a good point. So we're operating in the Megaman Legends universe. This is about 1,000 years after the end of the X series. What to the untrained eye might appear as magic and sparkles is totally like sparkly nanotech. And, you know, you're casting lightning bolt, but really you're charging up a power buster and shooting a lightning bolt across the room that you stole off of another dead robot. Like, come on now. For all intents and purposes, although this would have been thematically appropriate to try and run through the original Mega Man Riffs series, I'm not going to make people in 2025 learn riffs. And Cypher would have been good too, but we're playing another Cypher game right now. And you know what? We're going to try D&D 2024 for it. So thematically appropriate. Let's go up from Chips. Pulse.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maz. My pronouns are they, them, and today I will be playing Pulse, who is a Tabaxi artificer, and crazy. The best way I could describe Pulse is she is manic, and she kind of looks like a Maine Coon, but not that big and fluffy. She's got like her color pattern is like tans and golds and oranges and blacks and browns and whites. Like that's kind of like the not quite torty, but like more white with all of that kind of striped in there. And her whiskers are squiggly and sometimes emit static electricity. She's got goggles on, and her chassis has got like it's like leather and copper and bronze. And
I'm picking up very much She-Ra and Samurai Pizza Cats had a baby.
Sure.
100%.
I love this interpretation so much.
One of those streamer headsets that has the cat ears on top, they're just yours.
Yeah. And she just wants to learn as much as possible about what she can turn into things that go boom. She's very much a grease monkey. That's also internally an Acme cartoon.
I love it. Hesperia. Or live action Kiki's Delivery Service.
That's what you think. It's just because these hearts look like bows, but
it really does it through me.
It's unintentional. Anyway, so Hesperia is a very sparkly, very femme tiefling. She's a tiefling sorcerer who knows a little nano magic, shall we say, since it's all nanobots here. And she is a hired guard. Like, pretty much you hire her to protect you. Will she actually protect you? Remains to be seen. But, you know, she is very charismatic and seems to know what she's talking about. And she's very, very good at saying, stop right there in the name of whatever she feels like fighting for today.
In the name of lamp.
Oh, no.
I love lamp.
Yep. And she deliberately, her chassis, I'm not kidding when I say she's sparkly. Her chassis has glitter in the paint. Like, she is just sparkly. Perfect. It's not like she's illuminated. She's just sparkly. Like
she got the powder coat done. I love it.
Hell yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And last but not least.
Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot my actual name. I knew I was going to do it too. Ampersand's in the chat like, this is your name. You have to tell people who you are. That's who I'm playing, everybody. My name is Vixie Bell, and you can find me here on Logomancy Media playing at this table, forgetting to tell you who I actually am in this game. Yeah.
That is a good sign.
Something important, eh?
Right?
You know, man.
I beg forgiveness because at least half of us on screen tonight are running off of like 3 hours of sleep. And you get to guess who it is.
Oh, I just gave myself away.
Yeah.
The answer.
3 people have coffee at the same time. Like
the answer is yes. And
everyone.
Last but not least, it's not Mir. It's this bird mask. No, it's Mir. Mir.
Got to get used to this new name. It's not a T name,
right.
So Anyways, hey everyone, how y'all doing? My name is Blackwell, your everyman in the TTRPG D&D verse here on the interwebs and on TikTok. Most of y'all know me at this point. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm married, I got a kid that I codenamed the Kaiju. I'm playing Mirror, who will be your bookish wizard. He is, all intents and purposes, this very plain looking person, this plain individual. Brown skin that just absorbs sunlight. White locks that flow to the back, circular glasses. He has like yellowish, golden yellowish lines that appear on his skin that like form different insignias and the like. He wears this black robe that has arcane symbols on it, as you'll mainly see him just somewhere reading a book, taking down notes, just people watching, just watching people walk on by, seeing how things work, how things operate.
I love it. Let's establish some ground rules. Not just for the stream, but like for the world that we're stepping into. For the uninitiated, this might seem a little strange to you because you may be familiar with the idea that I have decided everything and it's my world and they're just living in it, right? because I am the drama. Instead, we are going to be heavily building a world together using a couple cool improv tools. Generally, at the start of a campaign, I will call out the things that we're going to do. The safety tools that we rely on heavily are and scene, which if anybody utters, we're just going to move right along. This can sometimes be a little jarring if you're like really into it and watching. But if you hear that, it just means that like somebody's done with this and we're going to move on, and we'll talk about it later. The other one that we use is moving right along. If a joke's outworn its welcome, or, you know, it's like, all right, come on, chuckleheads, like you got goblins to murder and
As you
all
do.
that jazz.
Daily.
It's time. We'll give a moving right along.
Yeah.
Oh, I should absolutely fix that because somebody's let me know that the tags on the stream still say Bluey.
Oh my god, there was a Bluey game? You did a Bluey game?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this is blue, but not the
I need
same as
to-
the Bluey game. The Bluey game had a lot more star power behind it.
Oh my god,
Right.
I gotta watch that VOD. Holy crap.
They
That's
do
a
call him
good
the Blue
mod.
Bomber.
Oh my god,
There's
it's a
that.
good mod. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fix that later here, Pat. Beyond our safety tools, we've got there's a couple considerations that we're taking into this because we are using 2024. One is the idea of the chassis. Everybody picked a species because we're using the regular D&D rule set, but this is Megaman, and far be it from me to tell you that you can't swap parts. So when it comes to mechanics, players can, during downtime, swap their species because they're investing in, I don't want to be a halfling anymore, I want to be a Goliath, and I have the money to do so. Where's my Zenny? Let's go. Beyond that, all magic is essentially ancient technology. You're unlocking it, you're leveraging it that way. There's not so much in the vein of divinity or mysticism. Mysticism is, in actuality, discovering ancient technology, making things work. So while we say we're casting spells, it's really like to the vein of like hacking the Gibson, so to speak. And if you got the reference, good on you. These folks are unique. At some point in your life, you, in the immediate past, you woke up one day or you were in the middle of a task, and you know when you get that really strong dose drip of deja vu, where it's like, I did this before and I know what's coming next. Oh God. And then you don't die, so everything's fine. It hits like that. A little bit of a headache, you know. You feel it right in your little robot teeth, and something awakens inside of you. You feel it's not a voice, but it's an urge. It's like, I have found something that I need to hyperfixate on, and everything else doesn't matter right now. This shelf needs to come down and be reorganized. This, you know, we have too many things, we need to burn all of it. Like something to that effect. Regular Reploids in the Village of Sol, S-O-L, don't do magic. Like, they don't have access to this ancient technology. Occasionally, you'll see one or two people come through that can rock a cantrip kind of thing, because they learned how to do something in their life, or it was passed on, that sort of thing. And rationalizing what's happened to you, you realize you've heard the call in capital letters. And you've heard it described by travelers as what happens when hunters become formed. They feel this call to adventure, this call to delve ancient ruins and old technology, to explore themselves. You have firsthand proof that there is something special about you. You've never considered it before, but there is. Look at it. Look how shiny you are. Look at those sparkles. Right? You have undeniable proof that there is something special about you, and all you need to do is go and unlock it. And much like being driven by an engine, it is encompassing. It's not mind control. It's just this feeling. And in this tiny village of Seoul, over the past, say, 2 months or so, we find our 4 technically adults, but not by much, kicking around. You know each other. This settlement has maybe 400 or 500 Reploids kicking around. There's a large solar farm out in the fields beside you. You see these golden, look like wheat stalks billowing in the wind, but upon closer inspection, every single one of the grains is just a tiny micro panel, and they bend and they move with the wind, and they collect everything. It allows seeding solar panels is cool tech, and it really fits the solar punk vibe. There's several roads that lead out of your settlement. Larger walls, that thick, rounded, gnarled aesthetic. Most of the other settlements that you would travel to, you could do on foot, but it's dangerous out there. There are transports and things of that nature. You all have the ability to go up into space and land in another location. But much like how you could, if you had the resources, take a helicopter to get to work in the morning from your house, most people don't and would choose to drive or walk instead to go most places. If you had those resources at your disposal. You don't eat food necessarily. Reploids regain their sustenance by absorbing sunlight, which is great, but there isn't so much of a dietary like, you've made me a fine meal. It's suck on this protein pack, like, let's go. Phrasing, I'm sorry, internet, please don't clip me. It does present a problem when you the hell was that? Somebody's got a video going.
What is happening?
I don't know.
It's not me.
It wasn't me.
Mic's off.
I don't know. Maybe it was Blackwell. All right. That said, there's one rule that you understand intrinsically that has been hammered into you since you discovered this change. And it is the cardinal rule of all hunters that exist. And you don't really know why, but it's a thing. Everybody keeps saying, you only travel with those as powerful as you. And nobody's been able to give you like a why. But whatever. Like, looking around, Chips, you're pretty confident that you could take the rest of them, but like Hesperia might fry your ass. Could be a thing. As we zoom in on this small, sort of sleepy village, the sun is shining in the sky. The birds are chirping, kicking around. You see up in the trees, it's just like Robo-Bird kicking around. All of the flora and fauna of this world are techno-organic in nature. There are animals, but they're like robot animals. That there is a turtle over there, and it's totally got like bolts kicking around, and it's just raising its little robot turtle babies, right? Robo-Bird. I'm going to get Chips to set the scene for us because it's your inaugural journey here. Two of you are together. I want you to tell me as the camera zooms in, where do we find Chips and who is Chips with?
Probably with Mirror.
Okay.
Well, sitting on the edge of one of the solar farm fields, there's a little pond that alternates between some kind of bio oil and lets off little methane burps as robofish swim back and forth within. Chips has been trying to plan where he wants to go next. And while the call is strong, he's still very much new to the idea of, I could just go and leave and find something new. And no, I think I really need to do that. And he's been trying to get Mirror to basically bounce ideas off of him. It's like, you've been reading a couple of the old tomes from the village lately. Any maps?
I think as Chips is talking to Mirror, Mirror's been like you said, going through the various tomes, maps. Just has a spreadsheet of books, just out in front of him, almost like circling him. And as he mentions, like, basically, if I found anything, he picks up one, hands it to you.
Take a look.
It's worth stating for setting the scene that despite having access to things like minor illusion, given the nature of your forms and physicality, Mirror is totally able to like wave a hand and just has like HUD displays of information spread around, floating, kind of Jarvis-esque. And each of you have the ability to like, hey, look at this thing here. Let me pull up an image for you, as tools at your disposal.
Nice. So to change it, I think, again, it's still that kind of like information is circling them. But again, that kind of holographic 3D image thing. And the moment you ask about like a map, a book, or anything, it's kind of like this hand motion of wave, like upload file to you. Kind of like, what is it? When someone drops an image, I forget how I don't have the right phone to do that. So
AirDrop?
I don't. There we go. AirDrop.
I don't have that phone either. It's fine.
Neither do I. It's fine.
So basically, like,
we don't use that.
Throw it at him.
We don't do that here.
I have an Android, so Anyway, he just kind of airdrops it to Chip, like some maps, like old research that he's been looking into, various places like temples that talk about like various creatures or people that used to exist here, mythological beings, things like that, just legends and myths that they go on and on about. At a certain point, you kind of realize that these are all almost talking about the same thing, but differences, like variations here and there.
I love it.
Okay, I'll grab the hologram out of the air and start studying it and say, well, when was the last time those hunters came through? Because they were saying something about, I don't know, something to the north. And for some reason that just stuck in my head. Don't know why it seems to matter so much, but I'll start looking through the maps and see if there's anything, maybe not to the immediate north, but what does the landscape look like?
I'm going to go ahead, Mirror.
If I may, because wizard, very knowledgeable, just doing these things. Could I point stuff out to him on it? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Just here, there's a temple here.
Drop a pin. It's okay.
Like there's a temple here. There's a old estate here. There's a old worn out factory here. As he's like pointing things out, he's not really speaking. Mirror's quiet. Chip would notice if they've been around each other since Jump. You would know that Mirror doesn't really speak. It's less of he talks when he feels like it's necessary. But if he could just show you here, you see like old villages, old towns and cities that were once there, but have been labeled like, what's the word? When people when there's just a sudden leaving, when there's no one there anymore. I can't think of
abandoned or discarded or lost.
Yeah, like abandoned, derelict, like. People have gone there, people have talked about it, but it's like no one's really found anything, but there's always something calling. The problem is no one really knows what to look for.
Mirror, please roll me a history check.
First roll of the game. Woo!
You can if you're fast with math, feel free to use real dice. If you're going to choke on it, use the digital dice.
Oh, I'm fast with math. Digital dice just don't like me.
That's fair.
I firmly believe that the Roll20 dice are cursed, but that's me.
That is a 19.
I have scientific proof that they're not.
3.
You and your science.
Every time I've rolled with Roll20, I'm just like, even with the stuff that I'm good with, but the stuff I'm terrible with, I'm looking at Uncle Theo, but we can talk about that later. That is a 16 plus 3, so that is a 19.
19.
Yay!
Mirror, you're able to, while educating Chips or Mr. Chips or however they go, you're like, all right, let's lay this out, and you kind of like enhance. You see several ruins kicking around. These are remnants of historical cities or vehicles, city-sized craft that landed and crashed hundreds and hundreds of years ago that the land has overtaken. You fundamentally understand that most things close to the surface have been harvested for their resources. It's how the modern villages and settlements that you guys live in today were established. It's just harvesting convenient resources to go. You don't need a whole lot when you just got to look at the sun for a little while and feel better. Within a full 8 hours, you basically have recharged to your full capacity, healing most of your wounds. It's almost like it's a story-based reason for that mechanic. Funny how that works. But you're aware of a place, following Chip's intuition, at the base of a large mountain that... Pulse, what's that mountain called?
It's called Hijack Peak.
Hijack Peak. I like it. At the base of Hijack Peak, there was a mine set up, because what would I be if I wasn't rocking some Armored Armadillo style levels here with mine carts that are made of spikes? At Hijack Peak, that mine went down. Resources were pulled from it until it was exhausted. Nobody's been in there in like 15, 20 years. But you have a feeling like if you're going to go lower, it's probably worth checking out, right? The people that would have been there, they don't have your capabilities. They don't have your sense of like vibe. Like, you can see you're clearly better than other people. Like, you're a wizard. Come on now. You know it inside. Maybe you don't talk about it, but you feel it in your heart.
Wizard mirror.
You're a wizard mirror.
I think Mirror internally knows that there's something pulling.
Yeah.
And with Chip talking about wanting to go north, wanting to go explore,
yeah,
he wants to help his friend out. He wants to assist them find this thing just as much as they want to go. Because, adventuring alone, boring, dull, stale. I don't feel like they are in that sense of better, but there's something in them that says, you are equipped.
Yeah.
Go.
You know you're special. And as you point this out, Chips, you feel almost like two pieces coming together, clicking soundly, and something twisting and locking them in place in your heart. So that feels right. It's like that. Yes, somebody pitched an idea, and it is the best thing you've heard all day. This feels right.
Say that's the place we should go. But how far away is this here? Zoom out. Look at my scale.
It's got a HUD, and it's got like kilometers specifically, because kilometers. It's the universal measurement for distance. And you're fairly confident that within a 2-day trek on foot, you'd be able to make it. There is a road going towards there. You could potentially grab a power cart and take it along.
Nice.
Find somebody to come and drop you off for just a little bit. This is your hometown, and the majority of people here understand this, like, this change in you. They've seen other hunters come through in small groups. Sometimes hunters are alone. Sometimes they're with a group. Generally speaking, you don't want to go alone, but as long as you don't violate the cardinal rule, it's fine. I apologize to the people hitting an ad break right now. If you subscribe using your Amazon Prime account, you won't see the ads.
You do
Sorry.
get one free sub.
You do get one free sub. Feel free to throw it here. But nobody's tried to talk you out of going off and taking on the life of a hunter. When you have a utopian sort of society, when people decide they want to be an artist or decide they want to be a researcher, it's usually met with encouragement. Yours is just an incredibly dangerous path, but they're like, obviously, like, there's something about you. You can do things that we can't. That makes sense. You would have all of the support and blessing of the people around here, within reason, to accomplish your journey.
Well, that sounds very awesome. I guess I turn to Mirror and say, well, I can go check in the market and see if anybody has a cart going up north. Maybe we could hitch a ride. But I don't know. Both of us going, I think that might be a little dangerous. We'll have to see about maybe a couple other people want to come too.
I think I have something. I do. How big is this colony again?
About 500 people or so.
Oh, like distance. Like, is it more than 120? Like more than 120 feet? Like I can message someone.
Yeah.
You know,
this is a sprawling sort of like sleepy village with like a 10-foot wall around it, and then like wheat fields.
Okay. I think Wizard. I think Mirror would once again airdrop information, and I think he would show
NFC.
our two.
We run Android here. It's NFC.
NFC. we will find a different name, like besides airdrop, like some other name. It's not coming to my mind right now.
The Android version of it is NFC, because you go boop and send a file. And your robots.
So it is NFC. Let's just use that for now. He would NFC drop something to Chip, and I think it would show the visages of. Hold up, let's get our companions' names. I think he would show Post and Hesperia, and basically say, friends, they could assist us with this.
That sounds good to me. They were also saying that they feel a pull towards something. Maybe this is something we can all do together.
I think he wipes his hand in a circular motion, kind of like airbender or water bender style, gathering up all the knowledge and just putting it in his hand. And he pulls out a book, opens the book. It's just, holographic data just flying out of it, puts it in there, closes it, and puts it back inside. Like, it goes inside the robes. You don't know where in the robes it goes. It just into the void.
It's like one of those 5-star binders. You open up, there's no paper. You just like collect all of the holographic stuff into it and snap it shut. That's dope. I love that.
Absolutely. And I think he'll stand up and like dust himself off and say, you should go, or should I come with? You do better at talking than I do. You should talk to them. They are overstimulating at times.
Chips just kind of nods, understanding. Says, well, you should come with me. I'll do the talking, I promise.
Please send. Thank you.
I chuckle and I'll pack up my, I don't know, my robe and get ready to head back into town.
Everything spirals around you and like goes into your body, like you do.
As you do.
As we zoom out and Chips and Mir leave this small metal-looking round and square hut with rounded corners. We come down to Hesperia and Pulse. Where are you? What are you doing? And who are you engaged in a conversation with right now, Pulse? Like who's the person that is in front of you that is for some reason upset?
So I'm talking to another Reploid who wanted to talk to me about building something else for them and has been going back and forth with me for over like 2 weeks of revisions, and it's never what they want, but it's because every single time they bring it back to me, they want me to change the design completely. And at this point, right, I just want to take it and smash it right into its helmet and blow the whole thing to pieces.
I love it.
Right.
Who is this person and what is their name?
Steaming.
Their name is Steaming. No.
No.
That would be very funny, actually.
Their name is, first thing that came to my mind is Data, and now my Star Trek heart is very upset, but we're gonna go with it. Data.
All right.
Their name is Data, and what they really want is a fancy yo-yo to give their younger sibling, but in actuality, I made them a bomb because I don't know how to make anything.
Yo-yo bomb.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
fine.
it.
We're fine.
This is a thing that happens sometimes.
So I think I'm sitting on the ground, and I've got parts in front of me. I've got like laser tools. I've got a schematic that I made and scribbled just floating in front of me. And I'm just tweaking at things, and just I'm not looking at Data, but I'm listening to them. Just like, yeah, right,
No.
whatever you say, dear, I'll do what I can. And just
Love it.
tinkering.
Before you is wearing it looks like the human chassis. It's just like red chest plate, big boots, blonde hair coming out like they're imitating somebody very iconic, and they're just like tapping their foot really, really, really fast. And they're like, okay, but like they're a child. Can you make sure that like it only blows up when they get it far enough away from them? Like,
You want a ranged weapon?
well, no, like I want them to throw the yo-yo down and like walk the dog, but I want it to blow up out there, but not in their hand, because those are expensive.
Right, it can do a tension trigger. Like, that's fine.
That sounds great. I love that.
Tension trigger it is. You know, it doesn't have an actual string on it, right? It's wireless. It's fine. I can put a string on it.
How do you have a yo-yo without strings?
It's
Oh,
it's fine. I can.
nobody knows how magnets work. Come on now. I'm a child.
Am I talking to Data or the little sibling now?
Both.
Correct. Perfect. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'll make it exactly the way you want it for the 5th time. It's fine.
Okay. This little Reploid steps out from behind Data's legs, like itty bitty. They are the cutest chibi like Rockman plush that you've ever seen. But where they would have a regular Mega Man helmet, they've got one of the helmets, like the yellow ones, and it's still got eyes on top. They're just dead inside, and you can see their eyes like peeking out through the little holes. And she walks up to you and she's like, "Excuse me."
Hi, right. Hi. Hello.
Pulse, she, they, he.
She, her.
She like, Miss Pulse, ma'am.
Oi.
And she like beckons you down. She's like, "What will be the effective destructive distance of my yo-yo bombs?"
I look at Data and I look at the child, and I just kind of just grin real big. I officially love this child. I kind of put my arm around this child's shoulders and I bring him real close. Right. So, you see, between you and I can make it as powerful as you want, but don't tell your sibling. Don't do it. Don't tell them.
Coming from this little girl.
Yeah.
Also, hail hydrate. Yeah, she starts to cackle maniacally. Hesperia, what's that little girl's name?
I love her. She's now my favorite.
Aside from Pulse's niece.
I love it.
But no, I immediately imagine this child getting adopted the moment that they started just asking us these questions.
Her voice drops and I'm just beaming.
I think that this little girl's name is Pistol because she's such a fire starter.
Yes.
So
I love it.
ST0L.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Leet speak Pistol. So there's like a cash sign in there somewhere. You know.
I love it. Yeah. Pistol like cackles maniacally, and as the you hear a rap at the door, and walking into your workshop, Pulse, is Mirror and Chips. And taking the half-finished product in your hands and like taking it over to the bench, and is like, Data and Pistol are looking at each other, and Data's like, nobody knows how magnets work, and Pistol's like, like she's totally did the Bumblebee thing and tapped into somebody else's voice chip.
Perfect.
I would like
now I just want to find her more voice chips.
I would like to pitch that Pulse and I are roommates.
I love it.
Like the workshop is Pulse's, like where Pulse exists, and then I have like my own section of the house.
I love it.
It's just like the front-facing room of the house is the workshop, and then if you go deeper in, we have our dwellings. I love it.
Exactly. Like that's where the actual living quarters are.
And it's a never-ending battle between why is there an oil slick on the floor and why the fuck is there glitter on everything. And sometimes the glitter gets in the oil, and sometimes the oil gets in the glitter.
Yes.
And everybody's having a bad time.
I have to create bots just to keep the house clean. They're flat and they're round and they have little tires on them. No, they don't. They
I feel like it's very much like the Wednesday Addams like show where they had the split room, and one was like bright and colorful and pastel and whatever, and the other one was like dark and moody and much more. It's that vibe.
Steampunk.
Just that vibe.
Because Pulse's entire half is just steampunk and grease monkey.
Steampunk and then like
solar punk, but yeah.
This is how you get Gundams that are dressed in Sailor Moon outfits that are bright pink with like fairy girl wands on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
That said, I apologize for the deletion and timeout, Balthazar. The bot didn't like you for a minute. I will.
The bots never do like us. That's why we're here.
When we hit a break, I will get rid of the stream elements bot as well. Thanks for that, Pat. Stepping in before you are your friends, Mirror and Chips. Chips kind of has to stoop a little bit coming in, and Mirror kind of looks like a strong gust of wind might blow him over into a small child with a bomb yo-yo. You know.
As the door is knocked on and opened, Pulse is a little surprised, so you just see that static electricity run between her whiskers. Right, oh. Aye, lads. What?
Hey. What are you working on over there?
Explosive yo-yo.
Oh.
Matter of fact.
Oh, okay. He doesn't step back, but he does kind of go off to the side and away from the pile of oily rags, and accidentally steps in another one. And anyway, well, I guess you're busy then, making the explosive yo-yos.
No, I can finish this later. And then I just look at Pistol and I wink at her and I give her like finger guns And then I look up at Data. I'll let you know when it's finished.
You see her her hand kind of spins a little, and it starts to kind of half come forward, and it stops, and she's like, and looks a little tired, and she's like, just about there.
You'll get it
As she
eventually.
almost turns on a Mega Buster. It's close, not quite yet. That's a good time to make a note of something. Things like Firebolt and Sorceress Burst and crossbows and things like that, totally Mega Busters that you have. Don't worry about tracking ammunition. They are just like pew 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 pew. Uses a hand to use it. That's all. Hail Hydrate.
We are gonna have
Hydrate or die
so
straight.
bad.
Yes, Mirror.
I think Mirror's like taking notes of the yo-yo, like he's copying that into the, the 5-star binder notebook of the design, how it works. Going to probably modify that later for something, for future use.
I would love to. I wasn't sure if Hess was in the room yet, or if you were waiting to like do something with Hess separately. Can I clarify that with the GM?
Yes, Hess was in the room witnessing this.
Okay, great.
It was my intention, but if you wanted to be coming in from elsewhere, that's fine too.
No, I was asking so that I could interact with people, because if I'm not in the room, I'm not going to interact with people that 100%. Are in the room that I'm not in. And I think as you take notes, like a shadow kind of walks up behind you and kind of takes the notebook out of your hand, very much Gaston and Belle, and like holds it half up and says, "Are you taking notes again?" She's not taller than you. It's just very much that scene. So,
how tall is Hess again?
Hess is taller than average. She's about 5'9", but she is a bubblegum pink tiefling with bright purple hair and is very sparkly. She has glitter in her chassis, and her ram horns decorate like the top of her head with bright purple hair. She is very, very colorful.
It's very funny that you say that she's like 5'6", 5'8".
Or yeah,
because Mirror is like 6'5", 6'9".
So
most of my
she's definitely walking right, and this girl has no chill. There is no chill.
I thought you were taking a break from being the tall and mighties there, Blackwell.
Oh no, he's still tall. He's just skinny, like you said. Okay. He looks like a wind could blow him by, and it's just like, help! Someone please help!
I love it. My robes are a sail. Oh no! Why?
So imagine the scene between Gaston and Belle if the heights were different or reversed.
Yeah. I love it.
I think as she takes it, he just reaches out and pulls the information, because it's like, again, the book is, for aesthetics. The information can easily be pulled, and as he does that, he's pulling specifically the various points that he pointed out to Chip, and he just kind of NFC like drops it to everyone like in the room.
Yeah, she
even the children.
No, not the children. Okay. Specifically, just to Chip, Hess, and I'm going to forget everyone's name at some point.
Pulse. And quite Pulse Pistol.
Yeah. And then I think Hess rolls her eyes watching the information sort of get drained, and like she's getting the information too. And she's like, cheater, and like throws the book back at you.
He catches it, just kind of nods at her, and I think this would be funny to do, like send a message, because I think I have the spelled message. I do. It's a cantrip. It's communication based, and there's no limit on the words that I can say. He would just say, "We've done this since we were kids. You can't really take things from me.
It's routine now. I have to try."
It is. Be nice, though, to others.
It's just you. I would never do this to anyone else.
It's just you.
Right, so be careful throwing
and
things.
She puts a manicured hand, because this girl, her hands are done. Like, she has beautiful purple nails that are like, it is the gel polish. It's the whole, like, the magnetic nails that have that like weird sheen on them. That's 1,000% her nails. So
I think he says, so I'm special as always. And I think he'll then turn her, redirect that energy towards Post. Like, please take this. Like, no words. This is probably something that Post is used to, where it's like the moment Hess starts giving him a lot of attention, it's like, no, No,
Right, it's
no.
fine.
I don't want it.
Yeah, right, it's fine.
And Hess is like,
Anyway.
hey.
Set it down on my desk and just throw the grease rag that's from my face on it for a while. It's fine. I can just chill there.
Anyway,
Right, yes, what can I do for you lads?
yeah, we were
Hi, Chips.
hello. We were just chatting out on the field there, and I don't know, ever since
Chatting. Mirror never talks.
oh,
Must have been
well,
something serious.
To you.
well, we chat in our own way. Usually I ramble about something that I'm trying to think about, or he's a great listener though, so it works. Anyway,
He sends a recipe to him because he's probably like, probably thinks he's hungry as he's saying this. Like, oh, he's a good listener. Remembers, oh yeah, food. Whoop, here's a recipe.
Does Mirror constantly have 87 emotional support tabs up on his HUD at every given time?
If it's the moment he pulls that information out of the book, it's just tabs. He know, and it's specifically each screen, like each window, is a specific tab group. Food, locations, armaments,
I love it.
magic, like magical wares. They all are categorized, so it's never like, hey, why is the food tab in the locations tab? No.
This sounds like my computer at all times. I love
it.
this so much.
so
Chips.
yeah, so Chips kind of just chuckles and stores the tab away and wonders where he's going to find some of the ingredients, but he'll worry about that later. Yeah, you remember last week a couple of those hunters came by,
Oh, I do, yeah.
came through the town, and well, ever since then, I know we've kind of talked about it off and on about something's changed lately.
If you start singing Defying Gravity,
Stop.
I
No.
That's karaoke or
I'm at
nothing.
the right table.
Fine.
Listen, who's going to PAX Unplugged? Karaoke.
Let's go. I think.
Yeah.
Wait, were the hunters? Were those the ones that were dressed in those like tacky browns and khaki colors?
Really
that sort of
tall
blended
ones.
in with the sand.
canonically, yes, now.
Ew.
Yeah.
Right, I remember them and their lack of fashion sense.
Well, yeah, they clearly have been on a far rougher road than we're used to, but I kept on thinking about that, and Mira and I have been just chatting about some of the opportunities nearby. We'd like to check out this place, and
Opportunities?
Wait, do you want to be a hunter?
well, I mean, haven't you thought about it?
Right, every day of my life, I'd love to get out of this village, but I'm busy. Is the excuse she uses.
You hear a boom behind you as the child has thrown the boom yo-yo, the bo-yo, as we're gonna call it now.
Boom yo.
The boom yo, into like thoroughly into the wall, and there's just this black smolder.
I thought you left. Take that outside. What?
Just writing down notes.
Takes the small magnetic like ring that's around and just like hides it behind her back because that's all that's left of this thing. And she's like, "Yes, Auntie." And the two of them like bust out.
You really should put a string on those.
Those children are going to be the death of me. Right? Yeah, it wasn't finished. She took it from my desk. Right? Can we move on?
Okay, to be fair, she did like let out a like maniacal cackle, so I pretty much thought that was going to happen, but I really just wanted to see where it went, and I'm satisfied.
And
I give her my usual "how very dare you" and "why are you like this" stare that she gets from me multiple times a day.
And from outside this hut with the door open, you just hear.
I love her.
In that moment,
I love her. I love her.
In that moment, Mira's just sending another file to post, and it's like safety switch designs.
I love it.
Emergency off switch.
I pull it to me, I throw it in front of me, and I swipe it to the side, and it kind of schematic as a side note scribbled on the bottom, and then I just kind of throw the whole file away, and it goes.
You're a sticky notes HUD user. I see how it is. My people.
Like 3D models of the things that she's making, but like imagine a grid just with, you can see straight through it, but you can also see like white pen marks. That's yep. It's a whiteboard in the air.
Yeah, they're like the glass whiteboards. It works. I like it.
I feel like this is a normal thing between Post and Mirror.
Yeah.
Mirror sends information. Post just takes like
Sends
general
to me.
notes.
Yeah.
Hold on, everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Hold on. I've been experimenting too. I'm just as intelligent. There is something that I read about a long, long time ago from way back before, like, whatever we were here. It's called tea. And I'm super excited. I made some. Apparently, you just take some random leaves and you boil them for a long time. And it's supposed to taste kind of good.
Are you going to eat? Are you going
Hesperia.
to actually consume something?
Please roll me a survival check.
I'm gonna die. She hasn't tried anything yet. She hasn't even made anything yet. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I haven't
wanna
even done
see if-
anything yet, James.
I want to see if you were able to find some in your travels and in checking this out, if the things that you found are actually good or not.
I have a +0 to wisdom, everyone.
That's
so It was
fine.
nice.
You're good.
It was nice knowing everybody. That's a big old 3. Let's do it. Let's go.
So, as Hesperia talks about the tea and spilling it, you see these gnarly looking leaves in a bucket, and it's an immaculate bucket. Like this bucket is what's the term the kids say, on fleek.
Yes.
It is the appropriate bucket for this kind of thing. One of the leaves is kind of moving, and you're not sure why, because it's probably alive, but that's fine.
Are you sure those are leaves?
I smell it. What does it smell like, Hesperia?
It smells like swamp.
Right. Looks nice. Well done. I'm not drinking that.
But I need taste testers. How am I supposed to know if I did it right?
Mirror sends like a bunch of recipes of tea to her, and he again sends a message like directly to her saying, "Swamp water is not a good basis."
Mirror,
Ooh.
please roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
God.
Is the tea going to get you?
Dex.
Whatever
save.
you say, it
Oh,
is.
that's
It's just
saving throw.
just hook
Oh,
to
no.
his nose and just hang it.
That's a 10 because I
That's
have
a
a
10.
minus. I have a -1 in my dex, so you
No.
know that's a
Oh
10.
God.
I forgot
Oh,
that
no.
on the tank.
We're being
Yeah.
attacked by tea.
You've got all of these HUDs up, and you're like grabbing this, and you'd over to here, and you go to swipe a window, and you're moving it over, but there's still something there. It's like, why aren't you swiping? And it's because crawling out of the bucket with these tiny little like centipede like legs is a leaf. It's like, it looks like a Mario Tanuki leaf, and it's just like and it leaps onto your face like a face hugger.
It's a face hugger leaf. Oh
He
God.
kind of just stands there for a moment. He's just standing there as he's just like, "Oh."
Do I notice this happen?
I'll
And
Yeah,
literally, that's what you
absolutely do.
hear.
It is latched onto his face. You did not make your dexterity check, and Hesperia, this is your fault. So I want you to roll me a d4, please.
Oh
There you
no.
go. There you go.
I'm so sorry. What is it? /D4? Or no, I can do the
/r
here.
space 1d4.
Yes, but I can also just roll it. It's a
Yep.
3.
That's a 3. Mirror, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
You lose half of your hit points in a single
Oh no.
single hit.
What in the face hugger? This was tea.
What in the face hugger?
As it starts to like pinch in on your helmet, and like things are scrambling. You're like, oh no, what has happened?
It's what- all you hear is, "Oh no,
Oh, no.
Pulse.
I don't
Pulse,
like this."
I need some help.
Please help.
I'll do my best to grab
Please
it and gently pull it off.
I will help you.
happened?
Like, I will help you
Yeah.
to pull this thing off. Like, if it doesn't come free, like
I
between
like
the two of
grab.
us.
I throw one of my laser cutting tools. Like it looks
Wham!
like a laser pointer, but it's a laser cutting tool, and it's like this big. And I toss it to Chips. Try that, and I'm just
Oh.
nonplussed.
I really
just
thought you were
toss it
throwing it
without
at the
looking.
wizard, and I was like, the wizard is made of paper. Do we really want to do this?
He's just standing there too.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a normal thing that has happened where it's just
Yeah.
like, if
His
I
whole friend
move,
group.
I just cause myself more harm.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stand here.
Amongst all of you being like, oh no, this isn't food, this is people. You try this thing and it
Random leaf juices, people.
and as you pull it off, it's got these two big they look kind of like oversized googly eyes. One is a little bigger than the other, and it looks up at you like, hey buddy.
Who's it referring to?
We'll say Chips, because you'd canonically said that Chips was starting to pull.
Yeah, I pull it off of his face, and
Let Leaf just
Say-
say something.
that wasn't.
Of course I did. Hello. And
Hello.
I cannot express that this leaf is like this big. It's like I don't appreciate being shoved in a bucket.
I can imagine that would be a bad way to start your day. Do you need help outside?
Looks around, looks at Mirror's face that now has no fewer than 25 little tiny dots all the way around in a circle. Because it's like millipede legs.
Oh,
And it's like,
So good.
I got this. And it's in your hand, and then it's not in your hand. I cannot express how quickly this happens. And it's just like, and it appears by your boot. And you're like, oh God, where is the mouse? It's that vibe. And you see it like skitter across a wall and then like following a corner, and then it's outside.
Oh,
Bye.
Hesperia is like on a chair, like refusing to touch the ground, very much like I can, like someone else has to kill the roach. I'm not moving.
You all look suspiciously at that bucket that is not moving, that had two other leaves in it.
I stare at the bucket for like a beat, and I say, right, I'm not having this in my house. And then I just go and I just throw the whole thing and spill it into the street.
Maybe Pistol can use it as target practice.
It
I have
tumbles and
healing
rolls.
hands. I have healing hands. I think Mirror is just going to, go across his face.
Yeah. Ow,
And just-
ow.
Just regenerate the missing pieces. Like,
Sorry, Mirror.
As you start to recover your hit points.
I
I
think
love
Mirror
it.
just nods his head and says, "This is fine. We've been here before." He kind of pulls up a calendar. 5th time this month.
6th.
6. Yes.
We have a calendar that says how many how long it's been since we've had an infant.
Yeah. All right. I think when I see you recover hit points, I see the red health bar go up on your HUD, and I just kind of look over like, you're right over there, Mirror.
It is canonically yellow and made up of little lines.
I think funny enough, when he took that damage, again, you see the lines that are on his body. The moment he got hit, they flashed red like a warning, kind of like Ultraman style of, I don't like this. And now that it's like he's fully healed, they're back to their like soft, glowing, yellow, golden kind of hue as he
I love
recovers 4 hit points.
So good.
Putting me back at max. I am not going to survive.
I will say for
Level
the purposes
1, baby.
well, and level 1, and not only one of you dumped Dex and Con as dump stats. So that's the thing. You
Dex,
guys
Con,
all have
and
a
strength.
visual indicator of your health bars. So at any point out of game, or if you're looking at Roll20, feel free to, like, you can see what chips how healthy they are by looking at them. You see battle damage, you see like where's my glowing bar at.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That we can just see it like we're avatars in a game. This
Yes.
makes me so happy.
You can see everybody's health bars. It helps.
I'm gonna make it magical girl style again.
I
Anyway,
like So, with that, what comes next? Everything's quiet. Even the cackling has headed off in another direction. Somebody's playing kick the bucket.
I hear it and I love her. I love her. I love her. Like, more convincing myself that I do love my niece. Right. Pistons and cogs. What do you want to do? You want to become hunters? You want to go? Where are we going? I'm bored and down mostly.
Well, we were talking and something kind of I don't know, connected in my head. I'm not too sure if it was a spark or not, but I mean, I'm new to this too. Here, take a look, and I'll airdrop an NFC drop.
I said
Not to be confused with NFTs, which are for fuckheads.
Yes. Nobody.
I just had a visceral internal reaction. Maz did, and it's fine. I walk over to Asperia, and I just kind of just gently pull her off of the chair.
I feel like it's very like, you're helping me off of the chair. Like, she's gonna get off the chair.
I'm
once
small.
It's gone.
I think I can do this.
Yes.
And then I take the data from Chips and I kind of throw it up in front of the both of us, and I lean against my best friend.
It is worth saying, Pulse, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you are physically stronger than anybody else in this party.
I am the tank, I have now been informed, yes. Which is hilarious.
Yep.
I kind of love it. Yeah, my ability scores are not bad. I've got, for level 1, I've got a +2 to strength and dex.
Nice.
And then my intelligence is +3. So
yeah, I like it. So with this HUD up in front of you, you see this pin stuck into it, where the previously established hijack peaks are, to the north of the village, about 2 days travel, or 1 by a power cart.
Ooh, hijack peak.
I keep forgetting that's a thing.
Well, I mean, it's
Other
there.
villages?
No, right now there's hijack peak being a place where people live because it's so far away.
Not too
Also
sure if
kind of
anybody
a
still lives there.
backwater, but like, you know.
Right? Do people live there?
People do not actually live there. As we established, it was a mine that was put in, and that has since been mined of resources.
Would I know this, or is this something specifically Mirror would know with that history check?
This is something that Mirror and Chips had established canonically.
Okay,
okay.
Yeah.
He's sending the information over, like the location, what has happened to it, like different information values of it, myths and legends popping up around it.
Okay.
Population, probably some fucking leaves now.
No,
It's like a mirror like
I'm gonna make all of the tea, you guys. All of it
just gone.
You see a note pop up in front of you, post saying, "Please do not give Hespia any more leaves. Thank you."
Further out
you
on the
and
map
I just have our own private chat going of all of the bullshit.
Further out on the map, there's a swamp that Hesperia probably harvested that from, and it used to say population 0, and now it says population ? Getting question mark bigger and bigger and bigger, because it's like, I haven't rationalized how many trees are there. Oh fuck.
Oh my God.
I think what all this information, all these myths and legends about hijack, when you say like, oh, who lives there, and I think Hesperia is like, ghosts. Hello, it's obviously haunted. We're obviously going on a ghost hunt, right?
Yeah.
And she looks at Chips like she just figured out like the big huge surprise, like this is obviously what we're gonna do.
Mirror's gonna look at Chip, and you see in his eyes that sense of, please help, please say something.
Boo.
I love it.
Right when I took a drink too.
I don't believe in ghosts at all, whatsoever. However, I still want to get that hell out of this village.
Pulse, roll me a religion check.
Okay.
Now, we've established that religion isn't necessarily something that takes place here, but religion checks are worth more than that. This is something to deal with strange occurrences, supernatural things that aren't in the vein of like just straight up tech. If I ask you for a tech roll, like I'm referring to Arcana stuff, right? But this is religion. Feel free to guide yourself if you'd like to.
I'm great because I got the best number. I got a 6. Such a good number.
Okay. Is that with or without guidance?
I did. Oh, you want me to actually take guidance?
Yeah, feel free.
Guidance.
How does guidance work again? I haven't played D&D in probably a
You add a
year.
D4, I think, to.
I did D4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so guidance in 2024, because we picked a new system for
That's
a
what
reason.
I was.
Yeah. It works a little differently. So you touch a willing creature and choose the skill. Until the spell ends, the creature adds a d4 to any ability check using that skill. So if you say religion, boop, for up to a minute, any religion checks add a d4 to them. It doesn't happen afterwards. This is something that you can do ahead of time.
Oh,
You
that's
are
cool.
so competent at helping your friends do things like, get leaves off of each other's faces and like clean out gutters and things. You can be like, you're really good at like survival. It's how Hesperia probably found those leaves. Who knows?
Excellent. So that's a 9.
That's a 9
in total.
I love it. You're like, I don't believe in ghosts. And something in the back of your mind, it's you recall a memory or a story or something about somebody used the term ghosts in the machine. And it was old uploads of Reploids that had been put in, or this tagline of RM. You don't remember a whole lot with a 9, but you remember some kind of technology about like, yeah, people used to upload their will into machinery, and then sometimes you could get it put in one of those big pods into an entirely new body, kind of like how you swap your chassis. You guys require your central processing unit to always be intact. That's how you age. It grows. It's a physical thing. But like historically, before you evolved to be the creatures that you are now, there was a whole lot more machine than it was people. And while you don't believe in ghosts, you know that if something was ever going to be spooky, it might be a person in a computer. It's all I can give you.
I think Pulse sits and thinks for a minute. Right. Pulls up some of her files from notes from years back. I remember writing something down. The term ghost reminded me of something. Mary, did I ever send this to you like a year ago? And I swipe it over to him, and everything that James told me are basically my cliff notes.
It's just this Charlie Day red thread.
Yeah.
But
yes.
it's just sticky notes apps all over.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
It's like a spider web too.
Hilarious.
Mir is so used to it too. He sees all the sticky notes, the spider web, and you start seeing his hands move as he's compiling the data. Can I do something funky? Can I roll religion as well to see if I can like compartmentalize the information and make it more like full, complete statement?
Yeah, so
maybe
taking
cross-reference with what you have.
Yeah, taking the things that Pulse has haphazardly like scribbled together and see if you can't fill in the blanks. Absolutely, go for it.
Yeah. Let me see. Religion.
Oh yes. While you guys are doing that, I think Hesperia goes over to Chip and says, "So do you want to help me pack?" While they're thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not super academic like them, and she will start grabbing stuff for their trip. She's assuming they're going at this point. you know.
It's
Bring
already
my extra laser pliers, please. Thank you.
Laser spanners.
Which ones are those again?
The blue ones with the 5 handle. It's fine. I'll get it
So
later.
the two attractive people like go and grab the thing, and the two
the nerds are
intelligent
just-
plebs are just hanging out over here.
To be
Comparing
fair,
math.
I'm a very pretty.
to be fair, I have a 15 in my charisma, so I'm fairly good looking.
All right, that's fair.
I'm fairly good looking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Charisma's
Yeah.
a 12. I'm a pretty
You're charming.
kitty.
You just have no abs about it. I like it.
It's true. There you go. Perfect.
It's like face, like profile. Don't look at the bottom. Profile.
Yeah, don't worry about. That's why I wear a robe. It's fine. I got the face. So,
I have
I love
green
this.
abs.
Okay.
Mirror, what is that religion check for you?
17.
17. All right.
Can I add something for you? Like, it's an idea.
Oh yeah, anything. This is all I can remember. When Hess mentioned ghosts up in the mine, this is something I remembered reading about ages ago, and I thought maybe it's relevant. Have you got anything else?
I think the thing I want to give to James is this idea of
Oh, sorry, I thought that was to me.
Oh, well, to both of you, really. I think there's this idea of an echo. Like, the machines, the walls, the architect, because it's all mechanical, it remembers.
Mhm.
It reverberates. It resounds something.
Yeah.
Whatever you do with that, it's like, he's a thingy.
Yeah. There's with a 17, Mirror, you something claws at the back of your head, and it's not another leaf, thankfully. You know that some of these they were called orbitals, and they were giant spacefaring ships. You guys live on this particular planet that we drink on right here. But this is not the only planet around that has Reploid life to it. And those orbitals basically took people from place to place, colony ships, if you will. And each of those colony ships was controlled by like a mother box, a central computer that no matter where you were in it, had your back, right? Think ship's computer in Star Trek terminology. Could respond and anticipate some needs. Didn't control you, but it did very Star Trek ship's computer esque technology things. And you know that all of those orbitals that are buried deep underground, if the walls are talking, it's probably related to that mother box. Or this is something Mirror knows intrinsically. Like it's not superstition. It's not the boogeyman. You're like, no, it's all very logical. Like there's something there. You just have to figure out what it is, and then take the next do the next best thing, right? Because there's no mysticism to it. It's just there's still something rumbling around.
It's just science, guys.
Yeah. It's just coming out of the walls. It's fine. Why is the science making squelching sounds? Oh no.
Why am I suddenly sucked back into a game of Mothership?
Oh.
Play Mothership. It's a great TTRPG.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So, what do you make of that, Mirror?
I think Mirror would look at Pulse and say, there is information deep within the mind. People that used to live there, people who used to exist there, maybe people who are like us. It's not ghosts. It's not phantoms or anything of the sort. While those are nice tall tales to tell children at night, I feel as though we have outgrown that. I think they'll help us understand more about who we are and maybe the world at large. It's a hive mind of information. Maybe something to help your inventions.
Pulse. You feel something in the back of your head, or like deep in your core between your shoulder blades, tingle for a second as you feel two pieces of metal squeeze together, and a lock turns and it goes, and it's almost like this release of like popping a vertebrae in your back, and you get that elated feeling up the top of your head, right? Where you're like, that's the, like, that was a good pop. But something feels right in what Mirror just said. You're like, yeah, what that guy said right there. 100%. You've never been more sure of something in your life that if that technology is there, it can help you unlock more about yourself. There's so much that you could do, and it's just with like beyond your grasp. You just need some of that tech. Just plug it in, just maybe an upgrade, see where it takes you. This is not an allegory for like cocaine.
Well,
That's
We
a
got-
TTRPG.
Just
We
a
got
little,
ancient
just a
tech
little
and
chip.
ancient tech accessories.
Just, the word dare appears on the screen now.
damn.
No, if you've done the DARE program, you know drugs are bad.
Yeah. But yeah, something clicks, a la the same sort of thing that fell into place for Chips and Mirror. Like, it just, that sounds like the best idea you've ever heard. But it's probably going to be dirty, and it might take a little bit of convincing for Hesperia.
Dirt and me? No.
I think Mirror would say to Pulse, there's so much more that you can make and do outside of, kind of looks around the shop. This is nice, and you've done wonderful with this. But wouldn't you want to do more, see more?
I've found everything there is to be found here. I've used every resource and figured out any possible use I could find for everything I've seen within our village, and I'm bored.
Yeah.
So I think you're right.
Pulse, you've hit a barrier that so many engineers and fabricators hit, where it's, I have hit the limit of the technology available to me, where I could do this thing. I could just like, imagine not having access to a 3D printer in space to build the things you need.
Not having a
And-
replicator on a starship.
Yeah. And having to make everything by hand and everything that goes into it. Like, it's possible in theory, but in practice, the task is too much. And the potential of being able to take that next step on so many of these ideas that you have rattling around, it's like, just need to invent space travel first, or like, just need to like figure out quantum mechanics. It'll be fine. Just gotta work
We'll do
that
it
out
live.
over a weekend. Like, it'll be fine.
Find a cave. Lots of crap.
As this acknowledgement takes place, we jump over to a very sparkly room. Chips, is this the first time that you've seen Hesperia's pad?
Probably just in passing, but I'm impressed. Everything's so reflective.
I really like glitter. Okay, it's kind of a thing. Like it's a very pastel colored room too. Like it's very like it's not like the whole thing is covered in glitter. It's very much like glitter accents on the walls, and it's very like bright and femme and just absolutely the opposite of like the workshop that Pulse has. And she's like got backpacks. She's like got a backpack that's actually pretty utilitarian looking. It's not sparkly specifically. It's more like a backpack that Pulse would have, probably given to her by Pulse at some point. And it's like, she said to find her wrench thing. What was it?
Oh, the laser spanner.
The laser spanner. Yeah, she has like 7 of them. I don't know which one she needs, so she just like sweeps them all off one wall. Drops
she did
them
mention
into
the
bag.
blue one, I think, but
she starts throwing them like until she finds the blue one. Okay, this is the blue one, right? This looks correct. I'm gonna put that in there. What else do we need for something like this?
well,
I don't know. I've never dealt with ghosts before. Do we just? Is it like you just say shoo? Do you throw something at them?
you know during sometimes if there's a electrical storm, you have that buzzing in the back of your chassis somewhere.
Right.
It's like that energy. So I think it's more like that. So maybe something to ground out any existing energy would probably work pretty good.
I always thought that was a short circuit, but that's probably a safe bet. And she grabs something rubbery, like not like a rubber blanket, but like she grabs something like that, like a rubber tubing or something, and like shoves that in the bag, and she like puts the bag in Chips's hands so she can pack the bag and it's like open.
I love it.
And she's
And
okay.
Chips just holds it up. Like he's not like overly strong, but his size gives him basically he's like a pack mule.
Yeah.
He's used to carrying around anything and everything. So
Okay.
I love it.
And
so yeah, I'll just be looking around, like trying to think of other things. We how are you with light? Low light?
she's trying to remember if she has like the
You're a tiefling build?
yeah.
You have dark vision.
So I do. She does have the thing where she can.
Yeah.
She's like. There was the way I was trying to phrase it
Infrared.
is if she has the equipment, like the gear.
Oh yeah.
The installed. And she's like
the night vision goggles.
Yeah, the night vision goggles. Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, I got that attachment ages ago, back when it was like really popular. And so it's not as popular now, but she's like, never mind. I shouldn't talk about trends. I mean, you are wearing kind of last year's pants, so it's not a big deal.
That's the best come on I've ever heard. You're wearing last year's pants. You should get rid of them right now.
Shouldn't say that.
No, but I would.
We're all supposed to be friends here, okay?
Right? Hey, wife, I'm coming for you. No.
Oh God.
Chips will look around. He does carry around like a electric lantern or whatever the tech equivalent is, and so he's not too worried about that. But other than that,
I think that while Hesperia is like looking around, she goes into her closet after she says that he's wearing last year's pants, and like she rifles in there for a bit, and like all you see is like her back and like the tail that she has, because she has a thin little tail that ends in a heart, and it's like moving because she's finally like in a place that like feels natural to her, and that is fashion. And she pulls out this very well made brown leather cavalier hat that is like she's like, I bought this for someone I was trying to impress, and it's actually too big for me to wear. So and she goes over to Chips and like stands on her tiptoes, because I'm assuming Chips is hella tall as a Goliath, and puts it on his head and like kind of tilts it to the side, and she like stands back to admire her handiwork and says, yeah, now you look like an adventurer. I like that.
Chips tries not to beam too much, but just kind of looks at some of the shinier walls, or if there's a mirror somewhere, and kind of.
Oh, there's definitely a mirror here. Like there's a full body mirror in
The
here.
walls are just
glittery?
mirrors. And I'm like,
She wouldn't do that, because God forbid if something broke in here, no. But like there would be a full
Mirrored
mirror.
So
Oh God.
I'll still with the pack. I'll one-hand it and reach up and Indiana Jones adjust it. And
I love
I
it.
like it. I like it. Thank you.
And at that point, I think Hez sticks her head out the door and says, Pulse, do you need anything else before we leave?
Pulse at this point is now up in the rafters. There's like it's a cat like structure, like jungle gym that's just around all of the walls of the shop. And she goes up, she's in her hammock where she sleeps, and she's just shoving things into her small pack. And then she like is also throwing things into the pack installed on her.
I love it.
She's shoving things into her like utility belt, which is just like actually built onto her chassis.
I love
And
Look, thick thighs save lives because they're full of adventuring equipment.
you just see a cat just pouncing around and just like total zoomies getting ready for this chip.
I love
Chip?
it.
Trip. That's chips.
Look, I'm not going to point out that I was talking about thick thighs and you immediately jumped to chip. Look, you think what you need to think.
Why do you think I have the older pants? I mean, it's hard to find
It's a
things
hard
my
knock life.
size.
So
Hello, Vancouver by night.
Yeah. I think that is what pulses do. What? No, right? You found them? No, probably not. No, I'm fine.
I found your thing. I found like 7 of them. I took the blue one, like you said, and I left
Wait,
the other
I've
ones.
got 7 up in your room. Oh, right, I had to fix your right.
Yeah, there was that
Yeah.
one time with that thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it out loud when the boys are here. It's fine. Just bring it down.
Yeah,
That's not like that. I broke it and I feel embarrassed and I don't want to tell the story again.
You're not
feel like-
making this innuendo better, Maz.
I feel like there's a message
not.
that gets sent to Pulse, and Pulse is just, and Mira's just like, we know what happened. You don't have to be embarrassed. It's
She
years old at
doesn't
this
know
point.
that you know.
It's okay.
You know what? I'm getting the pocket glitter, okay? I'm just going to I'm getting the pocket glitter. You never know when you need to make something shiny. And she goes to her, into her drawer, and she opens the drawer, and there are tiny Ziploc baggies, whatever Ziploc the equivalent of those are in this world, of color classified glitter in every shade of the rainbow.
It's just
And
hex code all the way across.
Pretty much, like it's just hex code. And she again studies chips, and she's like, okay, all right, you're kind of a summer. Yeah, okay, I'm going with the indigo for you. And she puts this indigo baggie of glitter in there, into the backpack, and she's like, so what you do is you put it in your pocket, and then if anyone threatens you, you yell pocket glitter, and it should distract them long enough for you to run away.
I figured out the spell that you should take instead of chromatic orb. It should be silvery barbs.
Oh my god, and it should
Glittery
just be pocket.
barbs.
I love
Oh my god.
so much.
Okay. Yep, I'm gonna do this.
All right.
That'll be the thing I take next. But yeah, and then she pulls out, she thinks of Pulse for a second. She's like, okay. Pulse is much more of an autumn. Oh my god. She pulls out this sort of it's a yellow, but it's not like a goldenrod yellow. It's like a very soft yellow. And she drops that in, and she's like, okay. And then, oh my god, mirror is so hard because mirror really just
Lavender.
oh god. And she pulls out black glitter and puts that in the bag. And of course she's like, and of course for me, I'm gonna do
rest.
the rainbow. she grabs the rainbow colored glitter and drops that in there.
I love it.
And she's like, okay, I think that's everything.
After a few moments of getting everything together and setting out, Pulse, the door slides shut behind you, and there's and chat, for fuck's sakes.
What did the chat do?
He's so hard. It's
Oh,
all I could hear,
no!
and I had to switch windows back to the stream when I heard it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And the sun starts to kind of peek over and down in this like faint green glow, and you head over to the edge of town, having gathered your party before venturing forth, and a power cart lays before you, very much like think back to the very first minute of like treble and basses Megaman game. So it's got like 8 wheels run along the side. It's got like a gut spot sitting in the front, and he's like, yeah, look, I'll take you up north. This is fine. It's just basically a truck bed
Thanks,
that
Mac.
you can all sit in.
As long as we don't
And,
have to ride a dog.
And I think, what's our like currency equivalent in
Zenny.
this?
A
Zenny?
zenny.
I think I hand him a zenny, and then also I make like little repair kits for things like if you know, if a screw pops out of a shoulder, or like you have your chassis scratched or whatever. I just have a bunch, and so I just give him one of those.
Interesting
The
tidbit.
driver who's named Mac.
Who is named Mac. It's
Yes.
about it looks kind of like this, and it's full of this solar wheat that you guys
Ooh.
tend to harvest. So this wheat draws in energy, and it gets cut, and it grows again. But instead of cooking said wheat, it's just refined down. So when somebody goes, it literally just recharges them and adds to their the nanites inside that starts self-repair. Anything that you have that is a ration on your person, they exist in a standard adventuring kit for a reason, because sometimes you go where there isn't sun and you can't naturally recharge your energy. So you have these little ration kits that are much in the same vein. They are not healing potions; they are just rations. But there are other ones like what you've done, Pulse, where you can make essentially a healing potion for all intents and purposes. It does require a crafting roll and the herbalism kit and all that jazz, following the standard rules. But you are able to do so as a artificer.
Cool.
And Mac, canonically called Mac, gets you all settled in, and you see rattling behind him is the bottom half of his torso, just like sitting there, and he's got like a big orb where his belly button would be, and he's socketed himself into this sphere and can kind of rotate around 360 degrees. And he doesn't have to use his hands; he just like thinks about it, and the thing starts going. And as it kind of rumbles along, and you feel this vibration, the camera cuts away, and up into the clouds, and it goes to the dark, and you hear this faintly boop, 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 and there's this single blinking red light in the darkness that turns green. And that's where we're going to go to break, because you guys deserve a little bit of a break. We went a little over. It was a good vibration, by the way, Lady Sini. Totally a thing.
Totally normal.
Probably like 10 minutes. Are you guys good with that? We've been at it for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So
Thank you,
10 minutes is just fine.
cool beans. So we'll be back 8:21 p.m. We'll get a beat. You should listen to this sick ass jam on the break music. 3, 2, 1,
Let's
go.
go.
Bye.
Bye.
and this is, God damn it, Maz, your camera again. Son of a bitch.
No!
There it is.
It's not my fault.
No,
I
it's just rationalizing because you used a new link.
I just hang out here sometimes. It's not. Listen, I just go here.
We just be existing.
We're just here existing. It's actually not my problem today, so I'm just enjoying that.
Exactly. Funny how that works. And we're back. That took a little longer because I needed coffee and gummy bears to exist.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Sour Patch.
Just like that.
My man.
Just bust out the Sour Patch Kids in
That
front of
is
me.
Note the Canadian treats right there.
go-to.
Yep.
I am out of these, but this is what I was eating. Oh, you can't see that at all.
They're blurry. The
They're
logo
jelly babies.
blurred. Jelly
See?
babies.
Yeah.
Ugh.
For the Brits out there.
But Sour
Yeah.
Patch is my usual go-to.
Sour Patch is also my go-to. Honestly.
I'm fighting a popcorn kernel that's currently been stuck in my mouth for the past 3 hours.
I believe
Ooh.
it.
I understand. Now, when last we left our heroes, y'all were getting acquainted with the bumpy road
Yes.
and picking up good vibrations.
Got them
And
good
just-
vibration.
As this power cart starts tootling down the road. You've got your HUDs up, and you're making good time. Like, this thing's like plodding along. It's not fast by any means, but it's like your typical horse-drawn wagon level speed and vehicle, right? This thing is made to be an all-terrain vehicle that goes about as fast as horse.
As horse.
Yeah.
As horse. Okay.
And Max just like checking things out and just like there's a dirt road, for the lack of a better word, where there's no flora and fauna. You see occasionally on the grass there's a little bit of a metallic sheen to it as the like grass blades kind of stick out at odd angles, but the tires on this thing are great. By your estimations, and whoever's keeping track or like marking your
absolutely.
location versus the pin,
Absolutely, yeah.
you have mini maps for all intents and purposes for your location relative to your home, and some areas around. You're fairly confident that you'll get there just as night falls.
Well, we can be sure that there's not going to be too much solar interference.
I spy with my little retina something brown.
Is it you? Is it your fur?
Yes.
Every single time.
Well, at least it wasn't a tree this time. You yelled at me for that one too.
Okay, but we're surrounded by trees. I mean, I Spy it's a game. You
You
tried.
pick another one.
Okay. I spy with my little eye something sparkly.
Is it you?
No.
Is it the glitter in your pocket?
Yes.
As a father, I have played this game to the point that we're moving right along.
I feel like Mirror, as he's hearing this conversation going on, he's, occasionally updating everyone with various points of interest that are popping up on their trail, and, just keeping everyone updated with, hey, we're this far away. By the way, we're this far away. We have this much sunlight left.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
We are not there yet. We are not there yet. We are not there yet.
Fine.
I'm pretty sure that there's at one point where Hesperia has done the thing where she tries to peek at something and almost fallen out of the van trying to look at something that was being pointed out by Mirror, and where she's like, ooh. And,
Everybody go ahead and roll me perception checks.
oh, it's perception time.
I'm good at that.
Perception time.
There was a small
Yeah.
there was a small moment of my life where I thought that I was gonna have to roll a deck save and I was gonna fall out of the car. I definitely got a 6.
I got a natural 20.
I got an 11. Hey,
I
nat
love
20
it.
first nat 20 of the
Yes!
game.
So let's go.
I'm sorry, Mira. What'd you get?
23.
23.
Okay.
Also got a 23 for Fizz. So,
If it's not shiny, I don't care.
yeah, you guys are rolling around. You see looming in the distance, Hijack Peak, and you're basically beelining for it. This was the mine at Hijack Peak was settled and built to allow the people of Saul Village to go there to mine the natural resources that they needed to build things, uncover lost technology that could be used and repurposed for other things. You are some of the few people that actually understand some of that tech. For like, you leaving your village actually kind of presents a problem to their economic well-being. Because the tech level of the village goes immediately down when you all leave, because you're the ones that can read this language or understand this thing. There are a handful of people that also may have the capability. They're very few and far between.
They had to really study at it, and that's like their whole profession, probably.
Yeah.
We're the youngins that kind of just figured it out.
Well, and it's not hard to be like, what's that do? Well, it shoots fire. Cool. Can we cook things with it? Yeah. All right, let's do that. Like there's some adaptation that goes into it. But as you kind of rumble on with these perception checks, you see in the sky a cloud, and it's just like, it's dark. But it's moving and it twists and it kind of shoots back in a different direction. Like clouds don't do that. That's weird.
That's different.
And then it splits into a V, and it dives like a flying V down into some trees off in the distance. And you see a bunch of trees fall over, like beyond the tree line, and you hear a come from like way off in the distance. And then there's quiet. There's no chittering of like robo squirrels. There's nothing.
Eyes light up, pupils go wide. You see they're like camera apparatus. Like instead of like actual pupils, and they just open even wider, and the electric static in her whiskers goes crazy, and you again see that big Cheshire cat grin as she is so excited that something new and crazy has already happened, and they haven't even been gone a day.
Mac spins around in his like swivel chair on his office ball that he's sitting on an office ball the entire day. For all intents and purposes, and the office ball is his core workout. Like it's
That's it.
And he turns and he's like, "Those are piranha larks."
Did you say piranha?
Piranha larks.
Oh.
Like like the fish that exist in the ocean that jump out of the ocean and fly. There are many swarms of them, and they will take down trees and mountains and creatures and dragons and all sorts of things. And he turns back and he just like keeps looking ahead.
Dragons? Did you say dragons?
I'm more worried about the taking down mountains.
And he turns back around. It's like dragons.
Are they big, by the way? Just quick, how big would you say they are? Like pterodactyl size or like jet plane size?
I'm talking, there were hundreds of them, and they were all about the size of like a Rottweiler.
Okay, got it.
Right? Like they're big, thick, doggy sized, but they move in a pack.
Got it.
You know what? Mirror and Chips, you both rolled really well. So we'll say like your HUD, kind of like that shaky UFO footage, you caught a glimpse and a snapshot, and it looks like a long lamprey with a round mouth on the front of it that just has swirling teeth with a bunch of like drills inside that just are made to chew through things. But it's got big fucking wings. off the back of it and a massive hole out the back for sawdust and, other things.
I think that we're all missing the most important part of this, and that is the fact that it can eat us.
Mirror sends the information to both Pulse and Hespia, just showing them like what it is, and he's putting like danger points on it, just like danger, 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 danger.
Please note the sharp teeth, and then a second row of sharp teeth, and then the drill tongue that it has.
Thank you, Mirror. I already got it. Now I really got it.
I want one.
You see a thumbs up emoji just appear in front of your heads up display, like ding.
I think I'm like sketching it sort of like digitally, and as I sketch,
If you bring one to our house, Pulse.
Pulse, please look at your character sheet in Roll20. There's a spell that you missed adding that we had discussed that is on your sheet. And I mean, it's basically just a bird, right?
I
It's
couldn't
just a
find
bird.
it. I
Just
couldn't
a
find
bird.
it. Thank you. I couldn't find it when I was building my sheet.
That's all good.
This makes me very happy.
So find familiar is a spell.
Oh,
Oh, no.
God. Oh, God.
I should preface this. Any version of this that you summon is going to look like that in the most harmless of ways. But you can have what you want.
And I can change the way it appears at any point, can I?
Yep.
Perfect.
Every resummoning you can like reskin it kind of thing.
I think at this point Pulse
I
is just, oh, I want one, and is now just building a schematic to eventually build it. Very excited.
I like it. And Mac is just like turned to regard you, and it's like, see, and points over to a tree line, and you see where there's like a massive techno-organic tree spouting out, and it looks like Swiss cheese, just here, there, and everywhere, as it's just like worms eating through an apple because they were on their way and the tree was inconveniently in the way.
Updating the maps, just updating.
Population of forest? Question mark? Question mark?
Negative
question mark.
1.
Nope.
Oh, jeez.
Formerly known as.
Population
gonna put-
equals nope.
He's just gonna put piranha larks. Evade if possible. You will be turned into Swiss cheese.
I
And
love
then
it.
I write underneath it in tiny parentheses, or build one.
I
Yeah,
love it.
most definitely this is a map, like a Google Docs kind of map situation where you can edit as you want. Occasionally Mirror has to go through and be like, remove.
I just poke him. Just like that, just little tiny barbs. But digitally, because that's our whole friendship. You rarely ever see Mirror and Pulse have an actual audible conversation. You just sometimes hear chuckles or see eye rolls.
Oh, God.
It's how they
That's
get. It's how they get along. It's like information sharing.
It's
It's like,
so
hey, I
good.
found this thing. I found this thing.
Secret nerd
Exchange
language.
notes.
So good.
To others around, because everybody's got hub access or HUD access to
Mhm.
share and communicate. There's a special kind of person that can like send it a far distance, telepathy, right? And if it weren't for the cinematic lens, it's just like 4 robots sitting staring at each other blindly or like dully into each other's eyes, not saying anything for hours on end. They're having intimate, deep conversations. It's just, above
Mirror
to
just,
Intimate,
just doesn't
deep
talk.
conversation.
Very funny.
Love
Okay,
it.
to be fair, you do talk, but only when I annoy you to death.
To be
So,
fair.
to be fair.
to be fair.
To be fair.
And I think, oh man, so I'm thinking that there are a lot more things than just the piranha whatevers that can kill us.
And leaf bugs.
Okay.
Says
I'm
Made-
Mac.
already not bored.
Yeah, leaf bugs. The kind that jump on your face and
Oh, don't let them do that. They can really hurt.
She looked at
we
Mirror.
might
Good to go.
Awkward
learn
laughter.
that already.
We've learned this 6 times this month.
It is a
Mac,
hard lesson
what-
to learn.
Mac, what other creatures exist in this area?
Oh, well,
Waku waku.
and you see this like little pillar start to rise up out of the power cart, and it goes shunk, and it looks like a T at the top, like a capital T, and it goes whoop, and it's looks like one of those coin operated telescopes, and he's like, those are called roly-polies. And if you look up and your HUD reflects off of it, and you see an image before you, and they just look like big fucking armadillos that are covered in plates, just rolling around in a field and just like bashing into rocks and stuff.
Amazing.
They are about the size of you, medium-sized creatures, give or take. Roly-polies. It's a technical term.
Very accurate.
They are very roly. I have not seen the poles yet, but I did not name them.
They don't eat reploids like us, right?
Oh. I would not know, Miss Hesperia.
I just wanted to double check. Sorry.
One bumped the power cart one day and was shaken and then rolled away.
All right, so they're skittish of other things, I guess.
This cart is built like a brick shithouse.
All right, so it didn't break, so it was confused and then left. Right. Makes sense.
Okay.
Takes notes. So excited and sharing notes with Mira about all of these new creatures. They're both just like, oh my god, actual stimulation. So
He's just like going through the scientific part of it, like the biology, animal, like what is it? God, zoology part of it, breaking them down by how they form, how they move, what they look like. You're getting all this information of like they're basically what they are and what they is.
and then
the zoological engineering of these creatures.
This? Yeah. Like I'm seeing the armor on these roly-polies. I'm like, right, can I replicate that? Can I take it? Can we hunt one later?
This is giving peanut butter rats from Wanted vibes.
I feel like it's Post is saying that like in their chat, he sends like a file of armor plating and just like change this to this maybe, and sends another file of like how to augment it to make it look like that.
Oh, I like it.
I think Hess looks at Chips and is like, are you understanding any of this?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the founders of the village probably had to hunt these things all the time.
Ooh. Somebody is a fizzy person.
Hold on. I know it's not me. I muted myself.
Okay.
No.
Well, and the static went away.
No lies. Boo. Anyway.
Oh, that's weird.
That said, the cart goes this way. Because Mac has no fucks to give about things in the way, like rocks and branches. It's very much what's his name from the D&D movie, who's like, oh, there's a rock in the way. I will just walk over top of it and keep going.
Yeah, oh god, the paladin.
Yeah, so the cart's just like, oh.
The paladin
like,
D&D movie just keeps going. Oh,
so good.
He puts his hand up and he's like, big old tires. You've heard him say it like 8 times on the trip so far.
So we say it in unison at this point then.
Big old tires.
Mira just sits in the back saying, choo choo, every time they're done saying it.
Pulse looks at both Chips and Mirror and it's just like, I love you both for making us do this. This is my best day.
Absolutely.
I think he nods to Pulse as he then looks over to Hespia. How's Hespia feeling?
Hesperia is like, she's just looks like she is a bit stressed. But mostly because she just found out there's a bunch of things out here. Like, she came out here without really thinking it through. And now she's realizing that she probably should have thought it through, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I forgot there are things that are out here that can kill us.
But is she
Great.
thirsty?
Hell,
hydrate.
hydrate.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes.
Hydrate or die straight.
Oh,
is true.
well, nobody wants that.
I think Mirror didn't look at Chip and send him a message. But not even, no, he would say this out loud. Do you feel it closer now?
It feels right. I don't know how else to describe it. Just it feels like we've needed to do this.
Sini, why are you this way?
Uh-oh.
Are you
What
thirsty for chicken?
Anyways,
Anyways,
Oh, because the ad is a KFC ad? Is the KFC
it's a
or
KFC
Popeyes?
ad.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been other ads, late night
No,
ads.
Wingstop. We were all wrong.
Wingstop.
as this carries on for a little while, in the dark, I believe Pulse and everybody except for Chips has the ability, as the light fades right out, there's a soft pink glow in the sky as one of the moons is above you. Sun is green, moon is pink. Canon. I said it to be so.
We're watermelon
fun.
flavored. Got it.
You are on planet
I love
Watermelon.
this so much.
There's a soft pink haze that kind of fills out everything,
That sounds
and
pretty.
a silvery mist seems to pour out of a well-rounded hole in the side of a mountain. And you feel all of your butts collectively hit the ground, unceremoniously just shunk, as the back of the cart on the power cart hits the ground and slides out underneath you like one of those little rolling skids. And Max says, "We have arrived."
What? Ow.
So it slid. Let me get this
Okay.
straight. So it slid out underneath us. So we all fall on our butts in
Yeah,
the dirt.
On
you
to
were
the
sitting
ground.
here and the whole thing went chunk, and then it slid out underneath you like a
Okay.
Like a lift.
Yeah.
a pizza flipper, or like a
Okay.
pizza.
Hysteria
do.
definitely lets out
Oh,
a little yelp.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like a
just
forklift.
Yeah.
Oh.
big old
tires. Right.
Big old tires. And he puts his hand up and he turns around and shifts his body to the front, like, excuse me, pardon me, and moves his way from the front to the back of the loader. Could have done a Yui, but didn't need to. And it's like, good luck. I'm fond of you. Don't die. Bye.
Do our best.
And he
Good
puts
to
his
see you,
hand up.
Mac.
Choo choo.
I think Hess is busy wiping dirt off of herself from landing on her butt in the dirt, and she's
Hess?
waving why?
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Funny enough, I was going to cast Elementalism to help you with that because I can win.
Yeah.
Okay, dex save. Let's go.
All right, I'll give you this. Mirror, you can either make Hesperia roll this at advantage or disadvantage
Oh
because
shit.
of your elementalism. You
I say
choose.
advantage. Like he's
At
legitimately just like, okay, I see my
Thank
friends
you.
uncomfortable. They don't like this
Okay, that's fine.
here.
I will
Okay,
always
thank
give you
you.
opportunities to troll each other in non game breaking ways.
That's delightful.
Okay, which is good because I rolled a 7 and a 5.
Cool. With the 7, despite Mirror's best efforts, a big cloud of dust and muck and everything just gets kicked up. And Mirror's like, I've got this. And he goes to push it away right into a wind gust that just blows it right back into both of your faces. And it's just like, it's not damaging. It's just insult to injury. And you're like, there is grit on my glitter.
Oh, shit. It's one of those. The way I imagine it is that it hits us in the face like a flour,
Yeah.
And so we're just covered in dirt, and she just sort of wipes her face,
And this is
valiant
why-
effort, I guess. Uh-huh.
And this is why I wear goggles.
Pulse, you don't have to rub it in. Okay?
I offered to make you a pair, and you said they're not fashionable.
I have my own glasses. Thank
It's going
you.
to cast
love it.
elementalism again, and it's going to be the water base where it creates a mist around him. And it's like kind of helping the mud just slide off. But
but
it's just going to be
cakey.
moist.
Yeah, now you're dirty and moist.
I
Wait,
hand
Because it's
Just
over.
not
you? Please tell-
prestidigitation.
I
They
don't
are
have it.
slightly different.
Please
I
tell
don't
me that you
have it.
just did it to yourself because I do not desire to be moist and uncomfortable.
Oh no, he's fine with the dirt. He's just kind of like me. He's causing like the nanomachines around him to kind of like stir up to create this like moisture to just like meow.
No,
Elemental-
thank you.
Elementalism is in summary one of those misty like battery or USB fans that you find at cons sometimes
Oh
that
god.
can like blow little like water mists around from
Perfect.
time to time. It can do more than that, but thematically,
Thematically though.
insult to injury. I love it.
Gross.
I look at Chips and I said, right. We chose this friendship, didn't we? With them. Every day we choose this.
I'll I will cast the prestidigitation to assist with the cleanup.
Thank
I mean,
you.
it's just forest glitter, right?
Oh,
You're very nice. You're very nice, and I'm just constantly looking up at you. And we have this battle where we never know if I'm going to actually just climb up onto your shoulder or not. I'm small. I am a mancoon.
Oh, I did not realize you weren't a medium-sized creature.
Well, I'm a medium-sized creature, but in comparison to a Goliath, I'm a mancoon.
Okay. You do have the ability in 2024 to be small for any race that you want to pick,
I could.
other than
Ooh.
Goliath.
Well,
It's up to you.
anyway.
I think Hess just looks like a drowned cat. Like if she had just gotten, she was very uncomfortable, and now she's just clean, and she's just like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate the assist. And she like shakes her hands off as if there's still like dirt and muck on them. And she's just,
Here.
I close up the ports and the vents on my hand and kind of put it back away in my cloak and multi-tool.
Multi-tool. I like it. Before you lies a big dank hole.
it's a hole. Is that what a mine is supposed to look like?
Right, yes, mine is basically you dig your way into a mountain to retrieve the things out of the mountain, and that's called mining.
Right, I definitely wore the wrong shoes for this.
I wasn't going to say anything because I know you like your fashion, but I was thinking that, yeah.
Listen, my reinforced steel toe pumps can handle a lot. It's
I mean-
just the climbing that I'm a little worried about, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. You'll be fine.
I hope so.
So,
Probably.
wait, shall we go?
Well, no time like the present. And I think, is there any kind of like, Hesperia like looks down into the hole. Is there any easier way down, like a ladder or something?
It is not like a hole in the
It's
ground.
like a
it is
cave.
in front of you.
Okay, so it's like a cave
There is
hole.
It's
a
like a
road with
proper
like
Because I
mine.
heard
railroad
hole
tracks.
and was like, oh,
Yeah.
we're just
Just a pit, just right
It's a-
down the.
just an ominous
bottom.
pit.
You
an
could call this a
ominous
tunnel.
Hey,
Yes, this is the one of two.
that's what
Yes.
Pulse looks like.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I feel like
As
Mira's
you-
going through the hole and he's trying to see if there's anything like candles, light shafts, anything where it's like he can fire off, like point at it and activate the nanomachines that used to live in there to conjure light.
There are occasionally down the way. You live in a society that does not waste most of the time. So you're not seeing things like somebody left a lantern right there kind of thing. They would have taken it with them. You guys are eco-recyclist, like solar punk society.
Not to worry. I came prepared. And just so you know, because I know our dear friend Chips sometimes has trouble seeing in the dark. So I've got, and she like throws out what looks like golden glitter, some shiny things. And I cast dancing lights.
Nice.
And like it very much looks very anime-esque where she just like throws her hands out in front of her and like sparkles.
I love this so much.
Meanwhile, the cheat is in the background, just having a light switch rave party.
I totally see a mecha cheat.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
the yellow cheese plate.
Right?
Yep.
Canonically, that's what Mac looks like now. Mac looks like the cheat,
Just with
Perfect.
just a giant ball butt.
just with a ball for
I
abs.
love
Nice.
this.
Fantastic.
So with your the aid of your dancing lights as you carry
Yes.
forward, there are, roll me a, I'm gonna say that, what skill proficiencies do you all have?
Ooh.
I'm
Charisma.
Oh, sorry, tool proficiencies.
Tool proficiency.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Tool proficiencies,
I
not
heard
skill
skills.
proficiencies.
I have thieves, tinkers. That's what I have. And alchemist supplies, but not tools.
Yeah.
So thieves, tools, and tinker tools.
I
You
have,
have
Okay.
chips?
I have the cartographer supplies,
I have.
and then I have a bunch of musical instruments.
I like it.
I
Mirror?
am super good at playing cards. I just want to let you know.
Okay, yeah, that very relevant. 100%.
I have calligrapher supplies and
I have that
thieves
too.
tool.
Mm.
And if you want skills to kind of build off of that, Arcana, Insight, Investigation, Nature, Perception, and Persuasion.
Okay.
I feel like Nature, maybe?
So in this instance, everybody can make an investigation check. Pulse, you can do this at advantage because you have a little bit of skill synergy with this.
Yeah, and
Big old 3. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You are a little distracted because the dancing lights are flickering off your nails, and you're like, "Oh yeah,
you said I
Excellent.
do this with advantage.
yes, you can roll this with advantage." Pulse,
I got more than the next one. 19.
19,
Nice.
Mirror?
21.
21.
Nice.
Looking at the structural nature of this, and Mira, you pick up on this as well. Pulse is looking at it from a very different perspective, but the information relayed is similar. Every so often, there's bracing in this tunnel, and it seems to be made out of some kind of hardened, like it looks like coral. And it's the same material that all of your houses are made out of. And it's a programmable material that's based on technological coral. You give it instructions and it grows in a certain shape. It mirrors technology that we have today where people can make houses out of living coral. It just takes a while. You know, it's like, give it water every day, leave it for 3 years. Let's go. And every 12 feet or so, there's just another bracing point for this. And with your rolls, everything feels structural, like nothing's collapsed in. This hasn't seen the light of day for a while. Nothing has laid foot on the ground that you're walking. There's a thick layer of dust that you're disrupting as you step forward.
So to clarify, sorry, basically any of the framework of the structure I'm seeing is that programmable matter.
Yeah. So
Okay.
like instead of your typical like here's the wooden framework of a coal mine,
Right.
this looks like
It's
that.
the programmable matter. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
for all intents and purposes, the structure's made out of concrete. You've
Oh,
got
okay.
big concrete supports every 12 feet or so.
And it, as far as we can tell, it doesn't look like it's in immediate danger of dropping on us. So
Everything seems sensible. Everything seems stout. It doesn't look like anything's been down this way in a long time.
okay. It's good.
Is there anything aesthetically interesting about it? Since I rolled 3, that's probably the one thing that she'd look for is like.
You know,
it is coral.
it is coral, so it's got these like cool porous ridges to it that catch the light just so, and you're like, oh, is it a gemstone? Oh no, it's not.
Oh yeah.
Like,
So she keeps just going after things that she thinks are like, oh, this is so shiny. Oh, it's nothing.
oh yeah. Oh, it's it's rainbow and reflective. Oh, it's a half-eaten mollusk shell that is really gross. Like, yeah.
Any tracks from any kind of techno critters?
You can roll me a perception check.
Oh
Please.
snap.
Will do so.
As everybody's like kind of feeling around.
No.
You're like, you look at the ground and you're like, nope, I see no tracks other than the ones that we are making as a team. This is wide enough for 3 of you to walk shoulder to shoulder, like 15 feet wide. Like this was made for a power cart to potentially drive down.
So I don't have to duck every 12 feet?
Yeah.
12 meters?
Yeah. Yeah, as you carry down this straight shaft, it opens up after 300 or 400 meters into a large rounded out area, and you see some kind of a natural cave formation, and burgeoned up against it is a long steel looking wall that just curves like the outer hull of a ship of some kind. There's no visible entrances to it. It's just like think Gurren Lagann, like there's just tech sticking out of the wall. Down below, there's different holes dug here, there, and everywhere. There's other shafts that go deeper into the ground and out in different directions. There's the remnants of some scrap where something potentially useful was separated from chaff and just like, okay, well, we kind of destroyed this thing to get that other valuable part out. We'll just like pile it in the corner here. So you've got essentially junk piles of bits and bobs.
It's like resources they couldn't repurpose.
Yeah. It's like, all right, well, I needed to blowtorch and plasma cutter the heck out of this thing to get that other thing off. And now this coupler is just screwed.
So probably like all the useful bits that they were able to get off the surface.
Yep.
They had to cut away the cowlings and the fairings and all that stuff.
Yeah. As you guys come in, everybody can roll me investigate.
Okay.
Chips.
Big four. That's one higher than before I did it. Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get this bread.
I got a
13.
23. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Remember how I said my dice and roll 20 are cursed?
I mean,
It's not a curse, it's the ghosts.
yeah, it's
Right,
just
that's what it
ghosts.
is. They don't like me.
Asperia, how do you feel about all of this? Because everybody's like, oh, look at this thing. And you're like, what? People are
think-
seeing things that you're not. How does that make you feel? Like,
Hesperia is just confused.
okay.
It's not even like, I think it's like she gets that people are seeing things and finding things, but I think what's being said about them is just way over her head because she's not a gearhead. Like her specialties are, she happens to be really good at working with nanobots, but not in the same way that like, oh my gosh, that Mirror is, where he's very studied and learned. It's much more intuitive. This is the
Yours
button
is
masher
art.
versus the,
Yours
art.
is art and his is math.
Like
Yeah.
you have
From-
hella programming skills.
It's
Yes.
literally the STEM kid and the art kid.
Right, exactly. Like she's much more like she can feel her way around nanobots and stuff, but like put like having to explain it or put it into programming or whatever, it's really difficult for her.
I like
So
it. With those rolls, something something catches your attention over near the base of this long, bulbous-looking outer hull. And it's metal plates. It's not HUD display or anything like that. It's symbols carved into metal.
So it's like a dome that we walk in that's got like a bunch of tunnels and stuff, right?
Yeah, so you're in a wide open space, and there's just this one big round outside of a ship, just like hanging at an ass cheek out into this
Oh.
space, and there's no visible entrance to this ass cheek,
Oh God.
so to speak.
Oh my God. What?
That is it forms the butt.
Amazing.
No entry, huh?
At the base of the butt, I'm just gonna go with it. There are metal plates just tacked on, and they specifically say, Pulse, you pick this up more than anybody else. They are like dig schematics and structural integrity, where it's
So
like
dig, D-I-G.
dig schematics, and like
I
it's
can
like,
say it.
hey, it wasn't safe to go this way because all of our thermal scans and all of our x-ray scans of this set of rock, if we dug that way, it would collapse. So you can see all of the data around here that you're collecting. It's going to a HUD, it's relaying back amongst your party. It's telling a story of like, all right, there's tech right here. Why didn't they go for the big thing? Well, their tools couldn't penetrate it. And if they tried to dig around in that direction, this whole place would have come down on them. So they did the sensible thing and went in other places, scavenging what they could and
So it's
harvesting.
essentially like a dig site safety map based
Yes.
on their exploration.
You are archaeologists, for the lack of better term. All of you adventurers are archaeologists. You're just the Indiana Jones asshole archaeologists.
Perfect.
Right?
I love this.
I adjust
I-
my hat.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, he has
Fizz, you have a fedora,
Bring it
don't
back
you?
around.
I do. No,
All
I
right. It just needs a giant purple feather coming off the back.
don't. Yes. Yes.
I mean-
Call it macaroni.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah.
That's the next upgrade.
And your voices echo if you let any sound out, and there's a faint like drip of water from here and there down one of the shafts, and the metal is smooth and cold to touch. There isn't much in the way of leftover tools or anything like that, things that haven't been like, oh, that pickaxe handle is broken kind of thing, or that board got burnt out. But all of the lifting cranes are still in here because
Why
it's
not?
challenging to move that kind of heavy equipment back out when you might come back and
So
continue
it seems
on.
like they were going to keep working and then for some reason didn't come back,
Yeah.
but we don't know why.
It wasn't necessary yet. So, Maz, something catches your eye, and I need you to roll me a D100.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's gonna be
Percentile.
fun.
Oh, this is gonna be real good. Let's see what happens.
Not him bringing the book.
Not the
Yes, the book.
book.
So, yeah, go ahead and roll me a D100, if you would, please.
I got a 100.
hell
Well, shit.
yes.
Oh, did you roll real dice?
I rolled a digital D100 because I don't have
Okay.
one.
That's fair.
Oh my
so
God, I
I have
need to see
a
this.
digital D100 just bookmarked.
That's fair.
Okay.
It works.
May I perhaps tempt you to get a giant behemoth like this?
Yes.
I've
Oh my
considered
God.
it. I've also considered getting a spinner.
That thing thunks when it rolls. It's very funny.
All right. So, because of chat giving you guys some magic items,
What?
you find a rare magic item.
Oh goodness.
And
Oh my
based,
God, Boots Treasure, thank you.
based on your roll for a rare magic item. No, I really like this. Maz, you specifically, as you're stepping over and like just looking at these cranes, taking in the ass as you will.
Take that ass.
I hate
You know,
everything
There's
about
no
this stuff.
entry, so there's no butt stuff, you guys. Chill
Yeah,
out.
there's no butt stuff.
Just-
It's merely
just slapping.
admiring.
Just slapping.
You you see something hanging off of one of the cranes, and it's a tool belt. It's really thick,
Thick boy.
girthy,
Extra
if you will.
thick.
Like it looks like a weightlifting belt more so than like a leather tool belt.
On all
And-
fours, I just kind of like trot, cat leap over
Yeah.
to it.
And it's got this heavy, rounded-looking helmet on top. Very guts man, like kind of.
Yes.
Yeah. And your HUD kind of lights up, and it's got faint markers to it, and it's got this silvery sheen. You know when you see a zoomed-in image of a fly's eye, and it has that luminescent,
Yeah, like the honeycomb shape.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That kind of reflects off of this a little bit on close inspection. From a
Ooh.
distance, you need stuff like detect magic, but when you're right up and like looking at it, it
The
catches your
helmet
eye.
does. The texture
Yeah.
of the helmet.
Well, this is a belt, but emblazoned on the front of it looks like a little like helmet shape on the belt.
Oh, I
buckle.
see. Like on the buckle. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And you're like, oh, this is a lost treasure. Like this is lost tech. It has something in it, or it has some kind of like purpose to it.
Oi, mirror.
Mir just looks up.
And I don't often shout your name at you.
Oh, mirror,
So-
mirror,
I
mirror.
So-
Get off the ass.
Usually
ass,
just
ass.
I hate
Oh, most
everything.
definitely. If you yell it, he's gonna like do that immediate like owl head whip around of like.
Just like, totally ping you. I take the belt and I walk it over to him and I kind of show it to him. What you make of this? Can I with mirror do an arcana check?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a help action, so whoever has the higher
Yeah.
number, just roll
Let's see.
it with advantage. You
If
can
it's
also guide if you want to, Pulse.
Yeah, so my arcana's +5.
It's a 5 as well.
Oh, okay. 6 to 1. We'll both roll a d20, and then whoever gets the highest roll. That's like
Yeah.
rolling advantage, right?
You can
Yeah,
you can
let's-
both roll a d20 plus a d4.
Let's
Oh,
go.
okay. That works too.
Ooh. Yeah. That's a nat 20.
Fuck yeah!
Yes!
That's better than what I got. I
Alright.
got a 16. That's great.
Do I
Here.
still roll the D4 or just keep the nat
Nah,
20?
it's fine. You've successfully, using the Arcana rules, identified this as a rare belt of dwarven kind.
I could have used the
Ooh.
identify spell. That would have been fun too.
I have that.
Pulse, you specifically mentioned the whole like I'm a Maine Coon thing.
Yeah.
Wearing this thing, you're getting fuzzy. So this, while wearing it, requires attunement. Increases your Constitution by 2. It's not really going to come up, but you would have advantage on persuasion checks made to interact with other like guts people, dwarves, the dwarven chassis. In addition, while attuned, you have a 50% chance at dawn of growing a full luxurious beard.
Amazing.
Right?
How
It
do-
gives you
Hail
dark
just
vision
goes-
out to 60 feet. And you would have resistance to poison damage and advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the poison condition.
It's called the dwarven what?
Belt
Belt
of
of
dwarven kind.
Belt of dwarf. Okay, I'm gonna have to add that to my sheet. That's amazing.
I can drag and drop it if you like. Now that
I don't
said,
thi- I
if
don't know how to
this is not
add
your
mine.
cup of tea, you can feel free to give it to others. But
Cool.
I rolled the character who's receiving this thing, but it's up to you. Like you are a party. I'm never gonna.
This is cool. This is well. Let me think about this.
This is on your sheet now.
Okay, I'm
Yep.
also looking at it. Hey, the chips. What's your charisma?
Charisma?
Or con.
Or con. Yeah, Constitution.
Yeah, so
Well, I was also thinking it gives him dark vision too, which he does not have.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have dark
It's
vision.
the
you're right.
only one that can't see in the dark.
Yeah. So
I mean,
actually,
I have the dancing lights cantrip, so we're not that bad.
yeah,
off.
it's not a big deal, but
As long as
Um,
you're concentrating on it.
yeah.
True.
My,
Funny
my
enough-
con's just 10, so it would definitely not hurt. But
Nobody distract me. fine.
Is this
Oh,
heavy?
I think with Mirror noticing that Hespia has to concentrate on it, he's just casting light on various objects.
He's just
like
trolling.
Light over here. Light over here.
You cast it on the back of that long red. Did we canonically establish that you have long red Jessie from?
She has the purple. She has the purple version of
Okay,
that. Like she has long purple, but it looks more like Sailor Venus. I
love
changed
it.
my mind about that. Yeah.
So, you have this thing. You understand the value of it, and you're like, how could somebody have forgot this thing? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, let's.
It was all the way up in the crane, right?
Yeah, it was hanging on a hook next to the like. Pulse was able to walk over to it and be like, "Hey, what's this thing?" Like,
That's strange.
See, this doesn't make sense to me because it seems like whoever was here, right, intended to come back. They've left what I assume is work equipment. Also, this is very heavy.
Is there a terminal of some sort?
I think it's pretty fashionable. Why don't we just put it on and see what happens? And she like puts it on.
No,
She just she like starts putting it on Chips and is like and like straps it in. She's like, what could go wrong? It's really cute.
She straps it on. Chips.
It's late.
I had to get to it before your wife commented. That's all. Half the horny in chat is coming from Simi.
Hilarious.
Right? Chips. If you're allowing this to happen to your person, you feel it like take hold, and the small of your back pops a little bit, and you're like, oh, that feels better.
Oh.
As you feel supported, like you're wearing a big girdle, like a weightlifting belt, and your constitution goes up by 2 points, and you can drag the Belt of Dwarven Kind 2024 onto your character sheet. It is a different item from the original by a little bit.
Yes. I've been trying to make sure I only grab the 2024.
Yes. I did not limit the 2014 stuff because there's some things that it's good to like look up the differences between. And as that happens, and you're like, oh man, like that
looks good on you.
Your HUD, you see this like on the side of your HUD, and what was just like a faint glow around Hesperia's dancing lights goes, and you can now see things like when those bats are flying at you in a Megaman game for a little bit.
See, I told you it was fashionable. It looks great on him. Matches the hat and everything.
I can see everything. What's that?
And you hear as you're having this conversation, it's like, yeah, you get this feeling inside of accomplishment. You're like, we did it, guys. Like, we found a thing. Like, everything's coming up Millhouse. This is great.
Breakfast Club jump time.
You, Hesperia.
Yes.
There's dirt in your hair.
Oh no. Ooh.
And it falls onto your shoulder.
We look up.
We look way up. They're dirty to you, and she starts to brush her shoulder, and she like looks up a little bit.
And as you look up, you see a hulking form, even bigger than Chips. And at first it's hard to see because it's just beyond the capability of your HUDs. But you see eyes start to glow, and out from the eyes there are lines that picture like Maori
yes, the
tattoos and it just kind of like almost like when those bioluminescent jellyfish get touched, like the light goes from this part of the body all the way down to another part of the body and disappears and hits a different one. And you see this hulking form with massive hands hanging from one of the beams on these cranes that are still there, and massive teeth coming up the front. This creature has the like That's the orc chassis, but he's big and it's a Reploid, and it looks down at you, and this tail whips around that it's not supposed to have. That's a little, as it drops down, and you see this electrical charge start to like charge through its body as it aims a fist, Superman style, heading straight for Hesperia, dropping on you from the ceiling. And that's where we're going to end.
I hate all of this. Why?
Because I've got a battle map to put together for you.
Oh no!
Y'all get to start in combat, and it has a surprise round.
Surprise!
Do you want us to roll
it
now or at the beginning of next week?
We'll roll it at the beginning of combat.
Okay.
I was just going off of your passive perceptions for everything. And,
Yeah.
You know what? All those low rolls.
If you wanted to know what this thing looks like, if you've ever seen Spark Mandrill before, this is Spark Mandrill. For all intents and purposes, a baboon based or a mandrill based Reploid.
Here I am thinking that this was the big glow up for Chips. Like this episode is gonna be like Chips' great big glow up. And
now I've waived the attunement time for this belt. Chips, it is on you because it thematically made sense to do so.
Yeah, I looked at the stats from it. I'm like, this is going to the Ben Grimm of the group. I firmly can only see him as like the Ben Grimm of the group now. And when you gave him that hat, and I heard Goliath was getting a big like fedora style hat, I'm like, oh, it's Ben Grimm.
I'm okay with all of that.
Fantastic. I love it.
I'd like to point you all to the artwork for something called the Reforged.
Where is that?
It is I'll throw it into the chat for Twitch. But they're basically Warforged that are like, I've decided being a robot is not my thing. Find me the biggest pimp hat you can possibly make.
I love that so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He's such a dandy.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
So good.
Right.
That is 1,000% amazing.
Okay, my next.
Right
that's
now,
gonna be my next.
Right now, I don't have that much, style, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
One bit at a time.
Yeah.
One piece of clothing at a time. We'll get you there.
All right.
One of these days.
Got the hat. To a nice like long jacket.
Popular.
Long jacket.
I know about
That's
popular.
That's right.
I love it.
You just start saying popular, dress you up. It's fine.
That said,
This was so much fun.
thank you all for joining us tonight and for sticking around for a whole bunch of shenanigans.
Chicanery.
Yeah.
Woo!
We are going to be back next week. Same time, same channel on the interwebs. Let's go around the table in reverse order this time.
Oh no.
We're gonna start with Blackwell.
Cool. Hey everyone, how y'all doing? My name is Blackwell. Again, your everyman of the TTRPG D&D verse here on Twitch, TikTok, and other platforms that we all frequent on. You can find me here on Logomancy channel on Mondays now, and whenever Frontier Adventuring Company comes back, you'll find me there on Wednesdays, and also bouncing around on to various groups on the interwebs. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I hope y'all having a good time. I'll see y'all next Monday.
Beautiful. Fists.
Oh, well, Fists here signing out, but feel free to drop me a message or follow me or whatever on my website, studioshinyo.com. That's SHINNYO.com. Lots of very old writing on there, but a couple other things there too. And I'm also on Blue Sky. You can find it on there.
On the blue sky.
Not in the bad place. Got it. Maz.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maz, and this is my face. You can find me all over the internet as Maz Face. I'm on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky, and I'm back and forth when it comes to TikTok. Otherwise, you can't find me. Please don't try. I don't like it. And I have been your ninja. I have been your
Smoke bomb.
Maxi Artificer, Sassy Pants Pulse, and I really love this game already. Thank you so much, James, for having me.
100%. Hesperia. Vixie.
Hey, that's me. My name is Vixie Bell, and I've been your friendly neighborhood player here at the Logomancy table. Thank you for having me. The 90s anime vibes are strong. Like, we're somewhere between a 90s like American animation and 90s anime, like right when it was coming here, and I'm really happy with that vibe. I hope it stays that way. Anyway, so you can find me anywhere on the internet, either over at the Pocket Dragon Pub, or as at Pocket Dragon Pub, or at Vixie Bell, both of which you'll find this face here. In fact, the Pocket Dragon Pub is having the grand finale of our Cypher system game, It's Only Magic, where we have a witch coven that is currently, well, they're going to see if they stay around much longer, because there is a very scary thing called the Tatty Boggle that's been following them around, right, James?
The Tatty Batty Daddy, you mean?
That's incredible.
Yes, the Tatty Batty Daddy. I'm actually really excited for this game. It's being done in collaboration with Monty Cook Games and Moonbeam, which is a new streaming platform. Be sure to check it out. It's currently in closed beta, but I believe that it will be moving into open beta very soon. So keep an eye out for that.
I think it happened 3 days ago, but
Did it?
it's taken some time to put everything together. They're working on it.
We're doing our best here. Go to Moonbeam. Check them out. It's their problem, not mine. I'm just letting you know that it exists. The end.
Absolutely does.
Anyway, so oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and if you like more of my face and this bald ass head, you can find me on the Pocket Dragon Pub playing Barbara Hawthorne, the golem muscle mommy in a coven of witches, because you know every coven needs a muscle mommy.
Yes. And actually, we have some special treats when it comes to art this Wednesday, which is for our grand finale. So I'm super excited to share that with everyone. But yeah, so that's what's coming up for the Pocket Dragon Pub. We are also celebrating FemGM month because March is Women's History Month. And we are doing a spotlight on some wonderful FemGMs over at the Pocket Dragon Pub. I'll be releasing that schedule as soon as I am done with It's Only Magic, because I am one human and I have 50 tabs open at any given time. Yeah. But yeah, you can keep up with myself and the Pocket Dragon over on social media. Follow us on Twitch. Thank you so much for having me. Yay!
Beautiful.
You and Mirror just love tabs.
Yes.
Emotional support tabs.
Give me the tabs.
Let me take a look. I think our friends at New Age Geeks are still streaming, so we're gonna raid over to them.
Let's go.
And hopefully we don't catch them on the way out, but if we did, we'd go to the Lantern Light Archives because they're also playing some D&D.
Oh yeah, Lantern
should be on
Light.
a little
I
bit.
need to go there too.
There we go. And thank you everybody for stopping by. Frontier Adventure Company is on hiatus right now while David has a second crotch goblin for a little while because babies. But we'll be around for a bit. And again, Wednesday, if you need a fix, check us out on Vixie's channel over there. Yes. We'll be back for every Monday for about 4 sessions for this, give or take. Should be about 4 sessions, and then we'll rotate out and find something new. So, take care. If we don't see you, we'll hear from you. Take her easy.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
And raid.